we've got some new news. Week 8, walking into Sunday morning. It's in some parts of the world, it's Sunday right now. It is the midnight show Eastern. We're running a few minutes late, doing start bench advice, walking into week number 8, into the morning games, and we've already got a doozy right on screen. DK Metcalf to play week 8. DK Metcalf to play week 8. This is a shocker. The Fantasy Football Show, it begins right now.
You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasy.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Take a lap.
Wow. This one's crazy. DK Metcalf playing week number 8. I don't think you should do it. I mean, I'm excited on one hand that we're going to see DK Metcalf out there. I am excited about that. And I've got him in a number of leagues. The problem is at what expense? Kind of think about like Jamar Chase in the first half. We were all very excited about Jamar, right? We wanted Jamar to stay on the field. We wanted Jamar to get back in there. Jamar had a monster 2 TD 100-yard game first half with Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow, and then all of a sudden, our greedy little wishes of getting him back on the field, he ended up doing further damage, and now we don't have him for who knows how long. Preferably, we get him back, in a shorter amount of time than we thought, but we also don't want him rushing back and re-injuring it, right? Like he did going out there in the second half. I'm afraid that DK Metcalf is gonna rip his patellar tendon in half like I did, because I tore this sucker right where DK Metcalf. I've got extensive knee knowledge. I may not be a doctor, I got my degree in psych, and I got my other degree in the journalism school at ASU. Walter Cronkite, ASU, go.
Mashed potatoes!
Go Devils. So I'm not an MD, okay? I don't pretend to be, but I've got 20 years of analyzing injuries as it relates to NFL players and fantasy football outcomes. And I've had about every knee injury in the book. So not only do I have experience breaking it down based on what I've seen and how it's responded on the field with NFL players, I've had all these knee injuries. And I tore my patellar tendon right where DK Metcalf has this damage. And like I've explained to all of you before, it's kind of like a situation where here's your patellar tendon, okay? Very strong. Very strong. DK Metcalf right below the kneecap. Let's draw the kneecap right on this piece of paper. Right below the kneecap, DK Metcalf has this damage, this little tearing, okay? These tears, and so there's some damage to it. And like anything, when you go like that, snap. I'm real worried about him going out there, jumping up in the air. And that's the problem. He jumps up in the air, lands, it's going to feel like somebody swung a 2x4 right at his knee. It's going to snap it right there. Now, maybe he doesn't have that bad of damage. You have to think the medical team, the same kind of medical teams that send a guy like Tua back on the field, though. You got to keep that in mind. We can't always just assume that because the medical team says it's okay or the team let him go out there that it's in the best interest of the player. I think by now we need to let that go. We can't use that as an argument as to whether a player is probably okay or not. But DK Metcalf, as long as he's on the field, he's starting in your lineup. You can't put him in at least your flex spot. So here's my advice. It's obviously going to be a risk, but he's out there. You've got to play him. I highly doubt DK Metcalf will walk out onto the field to be limited. He might as well sit. He's going out there because he wants to play football. I don't agree with it. I think he should rest it. If he's got any tearing or damage at all in that patellar tendon right there, he needs to make sure he doesn't, rush it and snap it right in half, because that's what risk he has right here. Snapping this and the kneecap floating up into this region right here. They'll literally have to take the kneecap, which will still be attached, and then sew it back together, suture it back together there, and suture it back onto the kneecap and connect it. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know what it looks like inside his knee. No one really does. No one knows if there's such damage that he's running that risk of just shredding that thing and rupturing it, snapping it right in half like a rubber band. No one knows. You have to think that somebody at a high level medically is saying, yeah, these are very small. There's no risk of you re-injuring it. They're very tiny. It's like little tiny little rip or shred. Not all the way. It's not like he has holes in it or something. For him to walk out there and play, it's risky. But you have to play him. If you have DK Metcalf, you have to play him. There's no denying his ability to pull in 1 or 2 touchdowns or have a 100-yard game and a touchdown. This makes Geno a little bit more attractive to start this week if you were toying around with this option or that option and you're like, well, DK Metcalf's not playing, so Geno looks like a hot mess. Not so much the case anymore. And again, I don't think he's going to be a decoy specula, because why even risk it? Why even put him on the field at all? Unless he's literally, they're doing it as like to mess with the mind, the defensive game planning, and literally he goes out there for a snap or two and doesn't do anything. It's possible. He also could go out there in warm-ups, specula, and their intention is to play him fully, and he goes out there in warm-ups and is like, no, I'm not feeling it. And then they say, okay. He goes out there for a play or two, comes to the sideline and says, yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. We don't really know. We run the risk of running him out there and then having him play a series or two and go, yeah, this does not feel right. I don't want to damage anything. So if you have better options, I would go with them, but it depends on what you're talking about. Christian Kirk or DK's an interesting one. I think Kirk's probably safer. I don't think there's a plan of a decoy specula, but what you say as far as like limited usage could happen through those means. I definitely think it could be something where, we're sitting there staring at the TV and we're like, why is DK on the sideline? He was in there, now he's on the sideline. His helmet's off. He's not going back in the game. I could easily see that happening. Mark Andrews week number 7, or Mark Andrews week number 8, however you want to put it. Spacula, I appreciate you being in here. David in the building, JP, RS, Mad Capper in the building. Frake was first in the building, as he usually is. Ski Tribe in here, the OJ, Nathan, Ron Navy's in the building. Super chats are going to be handled in the order in which they were received. Hang tight while we get through the news. And so if you've got your DK Metcalf shares, make sure you fire him up for week number 8. He's going to play. Unless you have a really, really good alternative. Him being at 425 is annoying. Yeah. So you can throw your scenarios at us and we'll see what we can do. Malik Willis is playing. And Malik Willis is starting. And Malik Willis has been one of my go get him and stash players all year long. He's on the waiver wire list pretty much every single week. He's definitely on my number 1 waiver wire grab for super flex leagues because he's somehow been out there in a lot of them. I wouldn't say a majority of them because super flex leagues typically are very, very deep. But I think that in redraft you still have an opportunity if you're in a bad spot to go get this guy and put him in your lineup if you're struggling with like Daniel Jones and Ellinger. And I kind of like Ellinger. I think he's kind of an interesting play as well. Malik and Ellinger are both very, very, very high risk. They have high reward, to potentially surprise some people. I kind of feel like Malik's, he's 50% flop capable, 50% like everyone's going to be just, oh my God, this is pretty cool. This guy goes out there and rushes for 80 yards and a touchdown. It's like having a running back 2 on the field, and anything he does in the passing game is going to be gravy. This guy can run the football. He's got an amazing matchup against the Texans. It couldn't be set up more perfectly for Malik Willis. And I think if you've got Malik, you almost got to play him unless, you always have a normal starter that's in there. We're talking about people that are in dire straits. If you're in a bad spot at quarterback or your super flex spot, he's definitely a good move this week. He's a good play this week. I really, really, really like playing Malik Willis if you're in a bind. Am I asking anybody to sit an ETN or a Walker or a Dalvin Cook or no in a super flex league? No. Am I asking anybody to sit a Dak Prescott? I mean, if you did, I wouldn't blame you, but no, I'm not saying that that's a smart play. But if you're going between like Geno and Danny Dimes, Malik Willis, Andy Dalton, and I'm not saying Goff isn't a safer play. He is, but those are the kinds of spots where you're like, okay, should I just go with the guy that could run for 80 yards and a touchdown? A-Rod and Malik is a very interesting one because A-Rod's underperformed, but A-Rod's safer. Malik Willis is a lot higher risk, but probably a lot higher upside. Let's be honest. Malik or Russell Wilson. London game, Russell Wilson, Hackett on the hot seat. Hackett going to be maybe fired if he doesn't win this London game. Call me crazy, call me high risk Smitty, but I'm going with Malik Willis over London Russ. Okay, London Russell Wilson. I don't want any part of. I don't want any part of mile high knees Russell Wilson, who's out there doing all of his workouts at 35,000 feet. This guy's usually used to playing football at a mile high altitude. Now he's doing all his workouts at 35,000 feet. For all we know, that's his best place to how they say, like, if you study for like a test impaired, you should take the test impaired. If you train at 35,000 feet, how are you supposed to not play at normal altitude? This guy is on the plane doing high knees, total head case at this point. I'm not trusting a head case to field general my team. I'm throwing Malik Willis out there. A guy can run for 60, 70, 80 yards and a touchdown on the ground. It's high risk. Anxious Andes. If you're an anxious Andy out there, Don't be throwing out Malik Willis in your lineup. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your comments, Smitty. I went with what you said, and Malik Willis laid an egg. You know, if you're an anxious Andy, go with the safe play. If you're an anxious Andy, play Tua over Malik. Tua's in a shootout anyway, and he's got massive weapons. So Tua's probably the safer play if we're talking about Malik Willis and Tua. Come on, you got to start Tua. But if you're an anxious Andy, don't go throwing Malik out there over a Dak and then come and blame me. Don't go throwing a Malik out there instead of Goff and come in here and blame me. You got to make your own decisions. It's high risk, ultra high risk, and ultra high reward. We do player props, Gibson. We do player props on this channel all the time. Ron, what are your favorite Underdog fantasy player props for today? Let's see, Ron, maybe you call in a minute and give me your favorites, and then I'll look them up too. But go to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Use promo code Smitty. Link is in the description. I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now as well and pin it. But Underdog, promo code Smitty. Here we go. Dropping said link into said live chat. Pinning said link now. Link is now pinned. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. And it's a way to start over too, in a way, because you can draft, you know, for week number 8, a week number 8 DFS contest, and then week number 9, it's resetting, knowing what you know now, going into each week, building a fantasy football roster, drafting against other people. Make draft day every day at Underdog Fantasy. So get on over there and do it live. Start Malik at your own risk. I'm starting him in 3 leagues, but I play in a lot of leagues. So, and I've got, you know, Herbert, a couple Herbert shares, a Mahomes share, a couple Mahomes shares, a couple Herbert shares, and a couple injuries that make Malik Willis an attractive play for my team. I'm starting him in a expert league on Instagram with some of the bigger Instagram accounts out there. I'm in first place. You guys were there for my Superflex draft. We did it live. I'm in first place. I'm dominating that league. I'm first in points. I'm first overall. And I got Malik Willis in my Superflex spot this week, and I couldn't be happier about it. So we're rolling him out there. Brandon Cooks, a lot of Brandon Cooks questions this week, and you just got to watch tomorrow to make sure he's not in the morning a healthy scratch. Because if he's a healthy scratch, that means he's probably getting traded. If he's playing, you know, he still could get traded, and maybe he's wanting to impress his future team. So keep an eye out for Brandon Cooks. Trade deadline is Tuesday, and this guy's been a big part of the potential rumor mill in regards to NFL trades before the trade deadline. So keep an eye out on that. If he goes to Green Bay, that's phenomenal. If he goes to the Chargers and catch footballs from Herbert, that would be phenomenal. Jamar Chase, this is older news. This is a couple days old by now, but it's worth talking about again because some of you have dilemmas around this situation. But Jamar Chase was not put on IR, which means that the team has some sort of hope, you have to think. There's no other argument for it. Not putting him on IR, which would make him out for the next 4 weeks and give the team more maneuverability with the roster. To not do that means that Jamar Chase has probably got a decent chance of not being out the full 4 games. So that's great news for Jamar Chase owners. And, it gives you hope to hold on to him even if you've got like 4 wins or something. If you've got 2 wins, 3 wins, you might want to send Jamar Chase packing if the right offer comes along, or you can dig into a deal and acquire Jamar Chase, at a nice price, or sell him, or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm going after Jamar Chase in leagues where I've got 5 or 6 wins, and I hold on to him. Are we still trusting Gus Edwards? I never trusted Gus there, buddy boy. It's a trap. It's a trap, bro. That there's a running back by committee in Baltimore, and Lamar Jackson's the number 1 running back ahead of all the committee guys. So it's a trap. Plus he's injured, and he injured his hamstring, which is a compensation injury to an ACL. And everybody coming back from an ACL, especially when they're rushed along, is gonna suffer those compensation injuries most of the time. So yeah, trusting Gus, he might not even play next week, bro. So how are we going to trust him? You know what I'm saying? Drop Alec Pierce for Van Jefferson. I would rather have Alec Pierce. Van Jefferson's coming back from injury, guys. It's the same old song and dance. You come back from an ACL tear, season-ending injury. You get shoved to the out there, feet to the fire. You oftentimes are subject to compensation injuries. Trusting a guy coming back from a season-ending injury is never the best kind of thing to do. DK or B-Rob. B-Rob's going to be a little bit smarter and safer. DK is going to have more risk but more reward, because I think that Washington offense is putrid, and if they get into a passing script for the game script, because the Washington football teaming commanding presidents, whatever their name is these days, gets off track and they got to throw the football, B-Rob's game script, his involvement in the game script goes out the window. So DK's higher risk because of injury, but higher upside because the Washington football team commanding presidents probably will be down. All right, so Jamar. Lightning, that's too big, bro. We're in a rapid fire news segment. I can't read that paragraph. Shorten it up. DK or Michael Carter, PPR. I'm going with DK probably, bro. Michael Carter's safer though. Golf, Danny Dimes, or Malik. Probably we're gonna call him Golf because that's what Ron Navy calls him, right? Right, Ron. I'll go with Golf being the safer. The Golfmeister is probably safer, but Malik Willis, higher risk, higher reward. If you're a nervous Nathan or an anxious Andy, don't be throwing Malik out there. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see your messages during the game. Oh my God, it's the first quarter, Smitty. He's got 2 points. Oh my God, Smitty, it's the first and a half quarter. He's got 2 points. Oh my God, Smitty, just checking. It's halftime. He's got 6 points. Oh my God, Smitty, it's the third quarter. He looks great. Oh my God, Smitty. Constant. Those nervous Nathans drive me nuts on Sundays. So don't do it. Just go safe. Go with the Golf man. Okay? Malik or Mariota? I'm going with Malik. T-Law or Malik? I'm probably going Malik on that one. ETN or Walker? I mean, how do you sit Walker? How do you sit either one of those, bro? How do you sit either one of those? So Jamar Chase, final thing I'll say about this until we get into questions that obviously relate to this. But Jamar Chase, a fantastic go-get for a 5 or a 6 win or especially a 7-win team. Brian joining the YouTube memberships. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you.
To the moon.
Also a fantastic sell if you're in a 2 or a 3-man league. I get some people that come to me and say, Smitty, I got offered Deontay for Chase. No. Hold on to Jamar Chase or hold on to him. Even if you've got 2 wins, hold on to him for a better trade. Just because the best offer you got so far doesn't mean you take it. If people knew that's how you negotiated, people just wait like this. Wait till everyone throws their offers. And I know he's going to take the best worst offer. You can't negotiate like that. You walk away from the table. You can do it. You can do a trade next week. He's a week closer to coming back. Maybe a little bit more buzz will be out there. Maybe a little less buzz. Maybe he ends up getting put on IR on Tuesday because they look at some things. They come back and then the 4-week window starts next week. And that could suck. That's the price you pay of waiting. But I'd rather wait and get the right deal than give them away for somebody it doesn't even matter. Now, I've seen other people come to me and say, Smitty, do I take A.J. Brown for Jamar Chase? If you're looking at something like that, which some of you are going to say, I wish I could find that. And that's true. Not everybody's league's the same, Bob. Not everybody's playing with 11 other sharks, bro. Sometimes you got to pull a grandma or 2 into your league because somebody bailed and you almost don't have enough guys to draft walking into week 1. Sometimes a grandma or 2 need to be pulled into a league. So stop judging other people if their leagues aren't as stellar as yours. Okay? But people come to me all the time and say, Smitty, AJ Brown, should I take it? And of course I tell them, you get offered an A.J. Brown for an injured Jamar Chase. I don't care if they come back and say Jamar's definitely going to be back after 2 missed weeks. You still got to take that move because the man's injured. You get offered an A.J. Brown who's bye-week free, and you don't take that. It's like you get sent on a lap. I tell you to take a victory lap, and I pat you on the back as you're running around. but you definitely need to take a victory lap. Then you need to get the
got him.
But no judgment because someone's league allows them to get an A.J. Brown. Stop with it. Not everybody's got your league. The world doesn't revolve around you, Bob. Okay? So stop with it. $20 super chat. Anytime there's a $20 super, you're immediately helped. The whole show stops and crawls to a halt. This man right here deserves a standing ovation. We're talking about the man known as Brian Marks.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Brian Marks, halt the show. Halt the show. Brian Marks with a $20 hauler. You're still the GOAT, my friend. Great information as usual. I'm still the GOAT. What happened though, Brian? You say that almost like something devastating happened to where we're questioning that the quality of the content. Still the GOAT. Okay. Brian, I appreciate you, buddy boy. Brian to the moon.
To the moon.
Brian's got me worried though. What's he talking about? Did someone else go down, Brian? Does someone else? Brian, are you the bearer of bad news? Are you here to tell me that one of my big bold predictions just went down? You're still the GOAT. Brian, don't do this to me. Now I'm in a panic. I'm afraid to check the news wire right now, Brian. Appreciate you, Brian. It's like when someone says, you didn't say anything of the sort. You're not stupid. I didn't say I was. Good old Brian. Brian has saved the day. Brian, who went down, Brian? Who went down now? Trade Javante. Brian's in my head now. Brian lives rent-free in my head now. Now I'm panicked. I've got Javante going through my head right now. Breece Hall. Who went down now, Brian? Jamar Chase. Trade him away if you can get something that you can actually argue to be as good as Jamar going forward. Let me ask the audience, and you guys may say no to this, okay? You may say no to this, but who would rather? I'm going to go through some names and we're going to vote. Would you rather have Jamar Chase, knowing everything you know right now, or Gabe Davis? So in the chat, vote. Jamar Chase with everything you know right now, everything you know right now, everything you don't know right now. Don't give me that, well, if he's only out 2 weeks, and give me some kind of like double talk answer that your mom would give you. You know, if you asked her if she's picking you up at 4 o'clock from practice or not. Okay? I want a straight answer, knowing what you know now. Gabe Davis or Jamar Chase? It's an overwhelming Chase. Oh, there's one Gabe. There's two Gabe Davises. There's mostly Chase. All right, I'm going to go through the names. So we're going to go up above Gabe Davis. Would you rather have Deebo Samuel or Jamar Chase? Deebo Samuel or Jamar Chase? No double talk. You have to make this call right this second with every single piece of information you know right now. Deebo Samuel or Jamar Chase? I don't want to hear if Deebo's healthy. You have to decide right now. The offer's on the table. Okay, here we go. Here comes, we had about a 10-15 second delay on these live streams. Here we go. Deebo. Okay, so Chase, Deebo, Chase, Deebo. For the most part, it's still overwhelmingly Jamar Chase. This is interesting. I have to admit, this is interesting. You guys are very, very... Brian with another $20 hauler. Immediately interrupting the show for yet another.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Okay, Brian, let's read what Brian going to live rent-free in my head again. Here we go. He's going to tell me who's down. Everything is good. I'm 3-4 in 3 leagues and 5-2. About to be 5-3 because of the bye week. We will still make the playoffs between you and me. You're the GOAT, man. Just reminding everyone. Thank you, Brian. Brian?
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Appreciate Brian. Okay. Chase is done rest of season, says Landon. Landon. I have to ask Landon a question then. Can Landon call in? Nobody else call in. Just Landon. Landon, do you know the phone number? Dial into the show right now. I'm not gonna blast you. I just want to. Well, that's up to you and how you address me. But Landon, I would like just Landon to call in. Nobody else try and call in. I'll block the number of anybody that calls in that isn't Landon. Landon, the phone line is open. Hopefully you know the number. But I would definitely like Landon to call in real quick and explain himself when he says Chase is done rest of season. This is probably just his prediction. But you have an overwhelming amount of Chase votes over Debo, over Shelton. We know Debo's not playing. Either is Jamar Chase, Shelton. Read the room. Neither one of them is playing, bro. It's not about week 8. Where's Landon? Landon, dial in. Oh, Shelton. Shelton, Shelton or Landon can dial in. Only Shelton, only Landon can dial in. Anybody else gets blocked. Both of them can call on at the same time. Ziggy, studio on. Ziggy, studio on. Thank you, Ziggy. The Zigmeister. Where's Landon? These guys aren't calling. Neither one of them are calling in. Neither one are calling in. Okay, let's move on while we're waiting for them to call in, because it's so funny because we've got like a 90% Jamar Chase over Debo and over Gabe Davis so far, yet a few of you think he's out for the year. So I just want to know is it your prediction? You say it with such authority though. Chase is done. This is where the problem lies. This is why it gets called out. I'm not calling you out, Landon. I'm not mad at you, Landon. Landon Brofist, but it's said with such authority. I just want to get inside the mind of Landon right now. I want to be a fly on the wall in Landon's world. I want to know what's going on in Landon's mind that makes him think he can use all capital letters on the word done. So Landon, we're waiting for you, pal. I'm not going to blast you. I just want to get inside the mind of a man named Landon. Landon Evan. I want to get inside the mind of a man that has 2 first names that thinks that Jamar Chase is done. That's all. Okay, here we go. Next name. Let's see. I'm surprised we got to Debo and didn't have a little bit more pushback. Jalen Waddle or Jamar Chase going forward. With everything you know now, cast your vote. Cast your vote. Cast your vote. You guys don't rip on Landon. Don't rip on Landon. Don't rip on Landon. I'm not trying to start a landslide on Landon right now. Landon's our boy. Landon? I just want to know. Waddle, Chase. Waddle, Jamar Chase, wow. Waddle all day, Waddle, Chase. There's so many Jamar Chases. There's a lot of Waddles coming in now. I'm not saying the Chase people are wrong, but it's such a risk to pass up on a guy like. Then again, Waddle's always banged up too. I mean, I could understand that being someone's argument. If someone came in and said, Smitty, I hear what you're saying, but let me just tell you why. And the answer is, I'm not going to say it in all capital letters like Landon, but I'm going to say the reason why is I trust Waddle very little to stay healthy. And like, I could understand, I could at least accept that. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying I could be like, cool, I got you. That makes sense. All right, let's go to the next name. Jamar Chase or, AJ Brown. I used that earlier, and to me, I was completely baffled by the person asking me the question and awaiting my answer to say yes, smash the button and get AJ Brown, who's had his bye week already, and is a top 5 to 10 wide receiver potentially in one of the most exciting offenses and involved in the most exciting story of a rags to riches team going potentially to the NFC Championship game. That's how everybody's expecting that at this point. AJ Brown. I'm looking for a Chase though. Connor, you're approved to call in. Don't just say Jamar Chase to call in. Connor, call in. Daniel, call in. Don't say Jamar Chase just to call in. That's how you're going to get in trouble with me. Mostly A.J. Browns. We had a couple. Snickle, call in. This is interesting. I'm surprised. Let me put the phone line up again. You call in and you're not one of the individuals I just named. Not only am I going to disconnect, but we're going to block said number. Okay, so don't mess around. Don't mess around. This is a specific segment for specific content to try and get into the minds of people that are saying Jamar Chase over guys like A.J. Brown. All right, phone lines are open to you individuals I called out. Only. Neil can call in because Neil said Chase. Peanut Butter and Jelly can call in. Let's go. Joe says it really depends on when you need them. But I would say, Joe, in the context of like a Gabe Davis, I get that. Or the context of an Olave, that makes a lot of sense. Face to fire up St. Brown this week. Absolutely, Lone Sentinel. Lone Sentinel, appreciate you being a member for 3 months, my guy. It does depend on that. But at the same time, when you start talking about A.J. Brown, doesn't really, in my mind, it doesn't really matter if you're worried about the playoffs only and you're 6-1 or even 7-0, because A.J. Brown fills that spot so well anyway. He's a wide receiver 1 in fantasy, and you don't have the threat of Jamar having some sort of setback or rushing it, because even if Jamar Chase comes back, you're still going to always worry a little bit about his first game back. Will he be rusty? Will he be holding back? Will he be limited? Will he re-injure it? Yeah, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, Smitty.
Ben, what's up?
Not too much, man. I got a question for you that I'm still debating with myself and been debating with myself all day.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're supposed to call about Jamar Chase.
Oh, we're only talking
Ben. Have you not been paying attention, Ben?
Sorry, I just jumped on the stream.
Okay. Well, we're gonna let this one slide. Anybody else calls without being one of the Jamar Chase voters, you're gonna get the Ben ban. Ben, go ahead quickly, bro. We're in the middle of a segment that is nothing to do with what you're about to bring up and disrupt the show with. But go ahead, Ben, because you're Ben. We'll go ahead and listen. Go ahead. Go. Fire it off.
Okay, thank you.
Is this Amazon, Ben?
Sorry?
Is this Amazon, Ben?
No.
Okay.
No. Would you rather start tomorrow, Daniel Jones or Malik Willis?
Malik Willis, I think you're not crazy to go either. I think anybody that takes a hard line stance on that is ridiculous. I think they're smoking a ridiculous pack, because you could easily argue either one. Easily.
Yeah.
I think Malik Willis gives you a lot more risk, and as I said, if you're a worried William or a petrified Peter or an anxious Andy or any of the sort, and you go throwing Malik Willis out there, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna be in a nut house by halftime. So don't go the risky route if you can't handle the dice roll. So Malik just gives you, the way that I look at it is what I've seen the eye test in the matchup. Like, maybe Malik Willis isn't ready. Maybe if he goes up against a really good defense, if he was facing like the Buffalo Bills or something like that, I'd worry that he's going to get ruined in his first game, not being ultra prepared, going out there with injuries to the wide receiver room. And there's a lot of things that would worry me about Malik Willis going out unprepared, against the wrong team. But the fact that he's going up against the Houston Texans and the fact that he's had a little time to prepare as a starter, taking first team reps this week, I have a really good feeling that even if he doesn't quite deliver to the degree that we hope he delivers in the passing game, he still could give you on the ground something that equates to like Deonta Foreman numbers. Like you're getting like a Deonta Foreman type of performance, probably no matter what. Not guaranteed, but there's a really good chance that this guy is like 60 or 70 yards on the ground and a touchdown. So if he does deliver in the passing game as well, that's gravy. I'm not even expecting that. I'm expecting to get running numbers tomorrow. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. We had someone on hold, but they hung up. Anyway, I go that direction, but Dimes is okay. Danny Dimes is okay. He's not horrible, but it's not great. Give me the upside. I'm pretty sure that they'll score the same in my mind, in a worst case scenario, but we'll see.
Right.
All right, Ben.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Smitty, and yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay, Ben. You didn't.
I do own Jamar Chase in the league, though.
Yeah.
So I feel the pain.
Well, you would you rather have Jamar? Would you trade Jamar Chase right now for Gabe Davis?
That's a good question, actually.
The majority
I
said
don't know. If I had the depth, I would keep Chase, but
okay. So you
I don't have much depth.
You're in line with the chat. The second question was, would you rather have Debo, who's also banged up right now? Would you rather have Debo or Jamar Chase?
Yeah, probably Debo.
Okay, so the chat said Jamar Chase, majority. Then I asked the question, A.J. Brown or Jamar Chase, and I was shocked to see, even a handful of Jamar Chases. It was majority A.J. Brown, but I saw like 5 people within about a list of about 40 people saying A.J. Brown. There's about 4 or 5 Jamar Chases, and I asked those individuals to call in.
Right.
Not to blast them, just to pick their brain and just figure out, like, what are they saying that from just, well, I'm 6-1, and they're not like answering the question, in general. They're answering it for their very specific situation that no one cares about that's watching when they're saying Chase. I just want to know, is it said like that, or is it said like, I just think Jamar Chase is this valuable in any scenario? I want Jamar Chase. I just wanted to pick their brain, but all right, bro, appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Smitty. You're awesome.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Catch you later.
How am I gonna ban Ben? Can't ban Ben. He's a nice guy. All right, so the brave Jamar Chase voters don't look like they want to call in. This better be You're live on the show. I hope you're a Jamar Chase over AJ Brown voter, or you may have just.
I am.
Okay.
What's up, Smitty? It's Neil.
Neil, thank you for calling in, Neil. I'm not here to blast
yes,
you.
Sir.
I'm not here to blast you. I appreciate you. I respect you. My question to you is this.
No worries. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would rather take Chase just because, it's a couple different things, right? I think, first of all, A.J. Brown, the Eagles' rest of season schedule is just really tough for receivers. I think Bengals is a lot easier. Yeah, missing Chase is definitely, it's not going to be fun, but with him not being on IR, I think he should be back in 3 to 4 weeks. And obviously, he has that upside that A.J. Brown doesn't really have with Hurts having that rushing ability on the Eagles.
Yeah, so here, let me play devil's advocate, even though I would take A.J. Brown in a heartbeat myself if I was offered Jamar Chase. And I don't think, of course, record would make me jump to the trade faster than I would if, let's say I was 7-0, and I'm like, you know what, my team's stacked anyway. That's then here's what I'm doing. If I've got a stacked team, and I'm looking at like Gabe Davis on my bench, well, let me see if I can get the focus in here. Hold on. What's going on? Come on.
Yeah.
There we go. Focus, Gabe. Okay, so if Gabe Davis in your lineup for, let's call it 4 games, plus Jamar Chase the rest of the way, that's going to equal like way more than maybe just A.J. Brown. then that's when you say no to AJ Brown. My backup wide receiver with Chase's starts, not all together at the same time, but just if you could start one at a time, that's when you say no to a deal like that. But I think that's the only scenario I can come up with if my bench is so good, I can get away with that. I think AJ Brown in most contexts, if people are talking about like a Wandale Robinson or something like that, you're far better off taking AJ Brown, who doesn't have a bye. Jamar Chase still has a bye, and so that's when I would say Jamar Chase is the better. I'm sorry, AJ Brown's the better player. But you make a valid point, because what you're saying is you're okay weathering through it. You think it's going to be more important to have him, and I get that if you're the player you're subbing in for 3 or 4 games is that good. I agree with you on that.
Well, let me just throw this at you too. So we've seen AJ Brown play. It's been 7 weeks now, right? We saw Chase play 7 weeks as well. Chase's first, I think it was 4 or 5 weeks. I believe it was 5 weeks. His first 5 weeks were, they were great for any wide receiver one, but they were rocky for him, to the point where people were considering him a
bust.
What's the term? Buy low, right? Or go get him. Go get Chase.
Or trash can. I saw trash can at times. I saw this guy's garbage. This guy ruined my season. People jumped on Jamar Chase really quickly. And what did he do after 2 games, bro? After 2 games, this guy was like number 4, I think. He was like number 4 after 2 big games.
Exactly. But see, Smitty, here's the thing. Those games were better than AJ Brown's best games during that same span. So I just think Jamar Chase has that, that fucking feeling that AJ Brown doesn't have, especially with Burrow dropping back.
Watch the monetization, bro. The monetization, bro. The monetization, bro. The bombage, bro.
Yeah,
come on.
I hear you.
I'm supposed to hang up on you, by the way.
I hear you.
I'm going to give you a pass.
No, my bad.
It's immediate hang up. That's the rule around here. All right, go ahead. It's not that I don't swear like a sailor. It's just, go ahead.
Yeah, I hear you.
New rule. Hang up. Just no warnings anymore, guys. You get hung up on immediately. All right, go ahead, Neil.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, Chase really has that feeling that I don't. It's not that I don't think AJ Brown doesn't have that feeling. I just haven't seen it from yet this season.
All right, Neil. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, call back. You got another question. Appreciate you.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, I didn't mean to change topics so quick, but we got to move on. Jamar Chase, Landon. I appreciate Landon. I hope Landon's not mad. And no one blasts Landon in the chat. I just want to know why he thinks he's done. The craziest part is Landon. Wait, where's Landon's comment? I really want Landon to call in, not because I feel like Landon needs to be called out, or so stop calling Landon out in the chat. I want both sides. Both sides are healthy, man. The both sides are very healthy, and I want Landon to call in. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Yo.
Identify yourself. Identify yourself. Who is this?
This is Oscar.
Oscar, what's up? You called me Oscar? What's going on?
Yeah, I know. What's going on, man?
Hello? What's up?
I got a question. I got a Jefferson offer.
Okay. It's like pulling teeth out of you, Oscar. I gotta admit, Oscar. Like, if your wife's asking you what you want for dinner, bro, it's got to take an hour and a half, Oscar. Like, all right, let's go. Justin Jefferson, I got it. Let's go. No backstory needed.
So it's a Jefferson offer, and the owner has ETN and CD Lamb.
Okay.
And he's offering both of them, and he's offering to also possibly throw in Kadarius Toney or Kareem Hunt.
So,
which one of those do you go with?
ETN and CD Lamb?
Yes, for Jefferson, and he's also offering to throw in a throwaway player, kind of like Brandon Cooks. He's even said.
Yeah, so, I mean, if I'm getting ETN and CD Lamb, the only way I'm not accepting that is if this doesn't help me all that much. Like, if we're talking about, like I was talking about earlier, if you've got like Gabe Davis on the bench, and or you have Gabe Davis in your lineup, let's say, and you're gonna have you have JJ and Gabe Davis as your two players, right? Or this is what you got, and you're telling me you're gonna give me Etienne and Lamb for JJ, and then that sends Gabe Davis to the bench. Then it's like that doesn't make sense for my team, even though it's a great deal.
Yeah.
It gives you good depth. But if you've got like a scrub that you're worried about every single week, and Lamb could take that player's place, and or Lamb could take JJ's place, and you can put that Etienne in there, it makes sense. But it just kind of comes down to your team, because JJ's so good that I'd rather have, in some cases, a player on someone's bench, with JJ than the two players. So it really, really depends. So who would be the guy that goes to the bench based on this trade?
So I'll just run you by my starting lineup really quick. So I had Josh Allen, Dameon Pierce, Michael Carter's in right now because I had Javonte and obviously the RIP Breece Hall, Jefferson, Higgins, and I have Higbee, DJ.
Okay,
Moore
yeah,
in.
that's fine, but just tell me who the player is. Who's the player you're sending to the bench?
So I would probably send, not this week. I wouldn't get him in time, but I would probably send Godwin to the bench because he usually is in my flex, and I would put Etienne in my running back spot, and maybe Brian Robinson in my flex at that point.
So in general, Godwin's the player you're sending to the bench. So
Yeah,
okay.
usually in my
So
probably.
I'd rather have JJ and Godwin than Etienne and Lamb. But it isn't. That isn't to say. That isn't to say I wouldn't trade Godwin in something to try and go get, to go get somebody else, bro. Like I don't love Godwin.
So a CD and ETN for JJ, you would say, especially since I lost Javonte, I kind of do need the running back help because I do have Dylan, but Dylan, he's not really doing too much right now. So I just don't feel confident starting him. So I kind of want another RB1 alongside Pierce.
Yeah, if you're telling me Dylan's in your lineup, then that does change things. So I guess Lamb and
No, he's definitely not. Yeah, he's not in my lineup. I only have Michael Carter in my lineup starting this week because.
So who's your running back? Who's your running back two normally?
Robinson.
Who's your running back two normally?
My running back two normally is I'm starting Brandon Robinson right now. Brian Robinson, sorry.
Yeah, so ETN's a big upgrade there. So I don't mind the trade in that context, but do what you got to do. JJ's already had that bye, bro. It's what's your record?
I am currently 5-2.
Yeah. I don't mind it either way. It's pretty even, bro. There's people on both sides of it.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
I've been hesitant to send that trade over, and I don't know, but
all right, man. Yeah, it's pretty even.
All right, man.
Let me ask the chat, and then we'll let the chat kind of help you. So chat, would you rather have Etienne and Lamb or JJ and Gabe Davis? Drop your vote. He kind of went through.
I don't have Gabe Davis.
I'm sorry. What did I say? Etienne and Lamb or JJ? I'm sorry. Etienne and Lamb or JJ? Please vote so this man can get the best advice possible from the best community possible. Appreciate you, my guy. Later. Call back if you got another one. Later. All right. Let me see if there's any $20 haulers waiting because I haven't fully been looking for that. Brian was the two $20 haulers. Thank you, Brian. I've got some super chats in the queue. I'm going to get to them in a second, so just hang tight. I'm going to go. I'll throw Mr. Punches on for now. Mr. Punch says, Smitty, would you trade Godwin and Fields for Adams and Carr? Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Carr's not anything to make you not do this trade, bro. That's simple. That's light work, bro. That's light work. Cody with a $20 hauler gets immediate attention.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Cody, pointing at you, bro. Cody's my dude. Let's turn the phone lines off for a second. I'm still waiting on Landon. I want you to call so bad. I want both sides of this equation. It's not to blast you. I want to talk. Landon, let me know when you're trying to call in. I want to talk to you. To just get devil's advocate perspective on why everyone and their mothers wanting to retain Jamar Chase in this chat, and I want your opinion. See if Landon comes back. I don't know if Landon left or what. Okay, Cody with the $20 hauler. Cody, I appreciate you. Smitty, since I lost Chase for a couple weeks, hopefully, who do I start? Rodgers, Goff, ETN, Swift, Amon-Ra, JJ, Lockett, Pittman. I mean, if you're starting 3 wide receivers, my guy, Pittman's your dude. Pittman, don't be doubting Pittman right now. I like Pittman a lot. I know Ellinger's going in there. We don't know fully what to expect, but you got to think he's going to navigate toward a safety blanket like Pittman. And Pittman's one of those guys that really, no matter who the quarterback is in there, he feels like he's going to deliver. I like Pittman a lot. So, also, anyone I should trade Fournette for besides Taylor? You've already got Swift. You already got ETN. Fournette and Lockett, Fournette and Pittman. Fournette and, obviously for Walker, I do Fournette and Pittman for Walker, Fournette and hopefully Lockett for Walker. Probably won't get that done, but you certainly could try. Those are all good options. Other players that I would maybe, try and acquire, you could maybe go get, God, I don't know. You can maybe get a Dameon Pierce for Lockett and Fournette. I'd maybe take a gamble on Cook over Fournette. And I don't even love Cook. But that Kamara, and I'm not super sold on Kamara either. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to? Thank you, Cody, by the way. Who is this?
Talking to old Frimpy.
Identify yourself. Who is this?
Frimpy.
Frimpy, what's up, my guy?
Not a whole lot. I just wanted to relay a little medical information for, the GOAT and his show.
Okay.
The fracture that Chase has is actually towards what is called the ischial spine, and it goes up towards the iliac crest. Now, it is only a fracture less than 3 inches, because if it had 3 inches or greater, that's what requires surgery. Now, what I will tell you, and I've talked to 2 different doctors from my previous employer, as soon as that gets, any muscle around that area gets engaged, you also have a tendon that will engage and literally flex that bone 1 to 5 degrees, depending on the amount of muscle, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying. This is an explosive athlete waiting to engage an area that's fractured.
Engage.
I just wanted to pass that on. It is.
Yeah, I've heard all these.
It is an accident waiting to happen.
I've heard all these breakdowns. The one thing that I would say that parallels what you're saying, but I've heard all these breakdowns, and there's a lot of people that are they're very decent medical experts in the field of football and football talk and news and such. But the one thing that they're doing is they're evaluating something that is it's all speculation, and they don't have the patient in front of them.
Sure.
And so it's like sometimes people come to me and say, "Hey, Smitty, I heard from this fantasy person over here that does medical stuff." And it's like, I'm not saying I don't appreciate other people's takes, but like I do my own research, and I don't feel like anybody, just because they have a medical background, is gonna look at it like more than I do or deeper than I do. I've done it for 20 years, so like while I may not have some of the anatomy for certain things down, I feel like the 20 years of evaluating injury and performance on the field relating to each of these injuries is more valuable than having even just a little bit more knowledge behind the injury when you don't know if that's the exact degree or grade or type of injury. So I appreciate what you're saying, and I definitely have taken in a lot of information from different reports and different things that have been stated and said, but no one has the medical records of Jamar Chase, and no one's talking to the specific doctor in most of these cases. So you have some beat reporter that has triggered a bunch of this that's local, that had said that it was...
No. I'm a former paramedic, and I work in the OR. And the doctor I asked said, if this guy is not having a surgery, the fracture is less than 3 inches.
No, I know.
So that was the main thing that sold it for me.
Yeah, no, and I hear you. But what I'm saying is, that we have a lot of speculation as to how much the fracture is, to what degree we're looking at. And what I'm saying is there are a lot of people out there that are being triggered by this beat writer that started to talk about the fracture for the first time. And everybody's going to these great lengths to talk about that, it's this severity, that severity, that no one really knows. They haven't come out and said. And so we have people just speculating on the severity of it. And you're right when analyzing what it could become if it ends up being greater than that 3 inches or whatever you're describing. I agree with you. But we just don't know. Well, we just don't know. And so, like, for me, here's the way I look at it, bro. There's as much risk to assume that it's going in that negative direction as there is risk assuming that it is not. You know what I mean? So you got to fall somewhere in the middle until we actually have some concrete factual information. So moving that line is tough because, like, that's kind of what my show started off talking about for the first like 20, 30 minutes or in that Chase segment is, where do you trade him? Because we have to assume at some point that line needs to move as we feel the risk, lays on one side more than the other. Because it is a risk to trade Jamar Chase, bro. It is a risk to hold Jamar Chase. It's a risk to trade him. It's a risk to hold him. It's a risk to buy him. It's a risk to sell him. It's kind of like a Vegas line. It moves. So this risk line is moving constantly. The problem is none of us have any factual information. So it's like the people that hold him are worrying about the risk being too great to trade him, because what if he's Jamar Chase 3 weeks from now and he goes off on a tear?
Exactly.
So it's like I totally get what you're saying, and that's why I'm here saying, where is our line? You know what I'm saying? You don't have me coming on here saying, I'm not suggesting you're saying this of me, but there's a reason I'm not coming on here and running my mouth about, go get Jamar Chase right now, he's gonna come back and explode. We don't know, bro. He just like DK Metcalf playing on what I described with the patellar tendon injury right here. He is such a high risk of jumping up, landing, and that thing snapping, bro. Just, you're in the medical field.
Well, that's the thing that the body does is when you're an athlete like that, it doesn't have one point of release of energy. It basically goes down the chain and gets to the weakest point of the body, and that's where the force is released.
And it also, bro, has a lot to do with other factors that people don't, I think, understand half the time. And I have exact experience with this exact situation with my patellar tendon and why it snapped. I have, I've had other injuries, like knee injuries, that have caused me to like have less, like my calves are super strong. My thighs, they're strong, obviously, but I've compensated over the years with knee issues. I've always had like patellar tendonitis and things like that. So I've compensated in a way with jumping and running and leaping, that when I come down, I'm compensating to try and avoid less pressure on my knees. And I don't even think about it. It's just the way that my body allows myself to hit the ground to help protect my knees from the patellar tendonitis. And so the compensation made it to where when I jumped up and I had some knee damage, I was putting so much like strain on my patellar tendon. The way that I would fall, it snapped my patellar tendon and it snapped like a rubber band. It ruptured and just snapped like a rubber band. My kneecap is floating up like 2-3 inches above where it should be. And if I had had better thigh strength and balanced out my leg strength, I probably would have landed more, used my quad to absorb. So there's so many factors involved as to why, if DK goes out and doesn't tear it, there's reasons for that we'll never know. The physiology behind, like, and then if he goes out and tears it, it could be because he's using his patellar tendons to absorb falling and jumping like I did. So it's crazy, bro. It's again, for me, it's moving that line. Where do we trade him? Why do we trade him?
Now I have a speculative question, and I'll hang up and listen. Do you think the amount of intensity before COVID hit, that these athletes were at 100%, all of a sudden COVID hit, and there was those 2 years where some people had to miss practices, they had to change this, they had to change that. Do you think that affected then, 2 years later, you're expecting your body to refire at 100%. I'll hang up and thanks for the
all right, man.
shirts.
Appreciate you. Yeah, thanks, Frempy. Call in anytime. Frempy, I appreciate your medical expertise. You can call in anytime and share it. We wouldn't mind hearing it. There's so many factors involved in all this, man. You know what I also think is these concussions, from these cones that everybody's been wearing, it's like all of these cones everybody's been wearing. Why are concussions up? Gee, I wonder why. Because no one allowed their head to get even a little love tap on the head. You know how people come up and smack you on the head? You couldn't do anything this offseason. You hit a bump in the bus ride over. You went over a speed hump too hard. They diagnose you with a concussion or worry about you. I think wearing these protective helmets in practice was a part of the problem. I don't know. We're seeing more concussions than ever. I think they're being too careful in some respects, and then they're being reckless when someone has a concussion like Tua, and then they send him out on the field while he's in a concussive state still. They send him out in the field, but then they're overcautious on the practice field. It's like all perception. It's PR. Like, here's what we're doing to try and prevent concussions. Look, we're wearing cone heads and not allowing anybody to take hits, so we're more susceptible to getting concussions, period. It's crazy, bro. These helmets are madness, and the concussions are up more than ever. Why? Lack of preparation? Was it the 19 and how that shortened the preseason and I don't know, to what he's saying. Who knows? It's probably a combination of over. Kyle with this $20 super chat. Kyle, I'm sorry. Kyle.
Mashed potatoes!
Kyle, the show stops for Kyle right now. Smitty, I'm thinking about starting Tyler Boyd as my wide receiver 2 over Deontay Johnson and flexing Brian Robinson and sending Johnson to the bench. My wide receiver 1 is A.J. Brown.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Fully agree with that entire paragraph there, my pal, my guy, Kyle, because I would do the same thing. I don't trust Deontay Johnson. He's decent. I could see you going Deontay or Brian Robinson as a flex. I don't mind either one, but I too would start Boyd. I think Boyd is in for a big workload. All right, let's get to these super chats and get them slammed out of the way here. Mr. Punch with the super chat. Smitty, would you trade Godwin, Fields? I think I already got to this one. For Adams and Carr, absolutely. Carr and Fields, I'm not too worried about. Like, I'm figuring out probably how to get out of both of those situations from a quarterback perspective. James with the super chat, $10 hauler, moonshot to James.
To the
$10
moon.
super chat gets a $10 hauler. James's question is, can we really trust Swift first week back? 2-5, can't afford a snap count restriction or 4 points and leaving the game with a re-injury. Should I play DJ Moore in a great matchup as a flex instead? Let's go to the chat on that one. I would play Swift. That's me. I don't think DJ Moore holds similar risk anyway, bro. When you really break it down, he's on a horrible offense. Granted, he's the best weapon left on the roster. So there's that. I do agree he could have a better, post CMC being traded season than pre. But there's still a lot of risk with DJ Moore dropping a dud, and then you watching, like, I think I can live with watching DJ Moore do well and Swift doing mediocre, but I don't know how you're going to handle it, bro. Walking around your house after with your head down if Swift has 150 yards and a touchdown or something on his way back. Trust your gut, but let's go to the audience here. Let's go to the chat. Who you starting? Is it DJ Moore or Swift? I have a very strong feeling it's going to be a unanimous or very close to it Swift, but I could be wrong. I was wrong about the AJ or what was the player that we're voting on? Oh, Waddle. I thought the chat would say Waddle over Chase, and it was not. It was Jamar Chase overwhelmingly. Ron Navy, what's up, my guy?
What's up, Smitty?
What's up, pal? Appreciate your super chat.
When you asked about the Gabe Davis and Chase, I was like Gabe Davis because Gabe Davis, a lot of weeks he's outperforming Diggs. So you got to look at Gabe Davis as a wide receiver 1, lower end maybe, but I'd rather have points for these next 3 weeks than none from Chase. So
yeah.
And Gabe Davis is go on past that, and he's in an explosive offense. So he's not going to change. Whereas there's so much you don't know about Chase's injury and all that. And the earliest he's going to come back is week 11. So, and you don't even know, okay, he goes out one game and he gets re-injured. What are you going to do with him? So give me Gabe Davis all day long.
Why do you say the earliest he comes back is week 11?
Because he's out week 8. He's not playing week 8. He's not playing week 9. His bye week's week 10. And so the earliest he comes back is week 11. And that's why they didn't put him on injury.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think that DK Metcalf proved today that we don't know what could happen. DK was supposed to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, man. This is crazy. He shouldn't be playing. I really think he shouldn't be playing. But I think that makes us pause a little on trying to predict what players are going to do with these injuries. But I will say this. I believe exactly what you said is what played out. They sat down and they said, hey, he could be out 4 weeks, but we have a bye week in between these 4 weeks. So technically it's 5 weeks when you look at it that way. And I think that's what they said. They said, look, we can make it 4 weeks essentially this way. And it's really only 3 games with the bye week. So I really, really believe that's how it played out. But who knows if he comes back in 2 weeks? Who knows if, like, here's the thing. The other thing that I think we need to understand is we can't trust news right now, guys. You can never fully trust news anymore. You just can't. Liz Frank injury to Najee Harris. Re-injured his Liz Frank injury in week 1. Did he? Didn't look like it. If he re-injured his Liz Frank injury, which is what the report said all over the place, he would have been out 4 to 6 weeks minimum. And so that's all I'm saying is, like, we don't really even know maybe there's no fracture. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's saying that there's this fracture now because one beat reporter wrote on it. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying we have to be a little skeptical, and it really comes down to that risk. Where's that risk line? You know, like the line in Vegas. Where's the line moving to? Is it riskier to trade for him or to trade him away? Is it riskier to hold him or riskier to send him away? Because if you send him away and the news ends up being as bogus as the Liz Frank re-injury of Najee in week 1, which he's still horrible right now because the offense is putrid and he looks like he's still struggling somewhat with the injury, but it's not exactly what was described coming out of week 1. And it's certainly we weren't even told anything about it in the preseason, which was lies, which was not telling us the truth about what's going on with the team, which affects the gambling in Vegas, all the DFS, everything that's tied to the NFL. And when someone comes in, Ron, and says that the NFL's not worried about your fantasy, the NFL's not worried about the sports betting, that's one of the biggest parts of the sport now. So people need to stop with this whole, they don't need to be honest with the news media or the fantasy football space or the DFS space or the gambling spaces, because people are putting money on these games. They need all the correct information. And there's a reason there's injury reports. If teams didn't need to be honest about the injuries, there wouldn't be injury reports or press conferences or reasons to divulge this or that. And it drives me nuts that no one's even cracking down on it. Like, hey, you know, Pittsburgh, we're going to go ahead and fine you for not releasing this or releasing that. Why is that not information that we hear about? It's bogus to me.
That's true. That's all true.
Real quickly, Ron, I gotta handle this super chat here. Hang tight. You can help me answer it. This one is from James. James,
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
James, my guy, send in another 20 spot. Jacobs, sell high, divide and conquer. He's 2-5. So he's asking that question. He's 2-5. Maybe look to get ETN and another piece, or Mixon and Boyd. I wouldn't take Mixon and Boyd for Jacobs. I think you could do better than that. Damian Pierce straight up, no. You can do better than that for Jacobs. Henry straight up, that wouldn't be crazy, but at the same time, like, why not get 2 players if that's your goal? If you're just replacing one player for one player, that's not helping you any. If you're 2-5 and you're looking for that divide and conquer thing. Your team is Cousins, St. Brown, Godwin, Olave, Barkley, Swift, Jacobs. You got a good team, bro. I don't think you need to divide and conquer, really. St. Brown, Godwin, Olave. Very good receivers considering your running backs are Barkley, Swift, and Jacobs. The reason you're 2-5 is because Swift has been out and St. Brown's been out. So I guess Ron Navy, should he trade Jacobs for Henry straight up because he doesn't really need to divide and conquer? Would you rather have Henry?
Actually, Jacobs having a smash year, and I mean, if you look at their numbers, Jacobs probably has more total fantasy points right now than Henry has. So why would you do that?
Bye week is out of the way.
I love Henry.
Yeah, bye week's out of the way for both of them, right? So that doesn't factor in. I mean,
reason would be two players.
Yeah, the only thing I would do is I would go get a player I just like quietly better than both of them, and that would be JT. But that's me. You're 2-5. The problem is, can you wait? Can you afford an extra loss by having JT out? But I would say that your team's capable of carrying JT on the bye week, though. I think it wasn't because you had St. Brown and okay. So here's the problem with your team. You had St. Brown out. You had Godwin out the beginning part of the season. You had St. Brown out for a grip of games. You've had Swift out. Jacobs didn't do anything till recently. So like your team's looking good. I personally would rather have JT, but that's me. I know a lot of people would rather have Jacobs at this point, and I respect that. I just think I would rather have JT. Plus, you could probably get more. You could probably get a Gabe Davis or a Pittman or somebody at least at that value thrown into with JT for Josh Jacobs. So that's my take, but I mean you're totally in the right to have a stance of like I want to keep Jacobs, but it sounds like you want to sell him high. Would you rather have JT or Jacobs?
Go that route. If he was going to go with Henry, I mean, find the owner of Jamal Williams and get Swift's backup in case Swift goes out again, and get a good running back plus Jamal for Jacobs. Get two running backs, but make one of them Williams.
Yeah. I don't blame anybody for liking Jacobs, guys. I want you to know that in the chat because I know some of you love Jacobs. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm not saying it's a move that he should make for sure or anything. It's just for me, I think I could get another player with JT. I think JT's freaked his owners out enough, and I still believe in him, and I think Ellinger is going to be good for this offense. I think that it's not going to be a bad thing. I think they'll lean on the run a little more to help Ellinger along. I think that I know people are worried about the blocking. I know people are worried about 8-man fronts and such, but I think if Ellinger, because he's mobile, he's just a better version of Matt Ryan. He's going to be more mobile. He's going to be able to, I think, look pretty efficient. And it's all about Ellinger. If you don't like Ellinger, then you don't want to take a chance on him and you think JT's going to crumble. That's fine. I just feel like JT blew up in week one, man. He blew up in week one. We saw that he still has the talent. It's not about him. It's about the team. And I'm banking on the team having a little bit better run here from here on out. But that's just me.
I don't like the fact that they got a week 14 bye either.
Yeah, that is a brutal bye week. But at the same time, if you're trading away a guy like Jacobs and you're getting another player like Gabe Davis, let's say, who's already had his bye week, and you're probably going to be in good position to make your playoffs or not by that point, so you might already have it in the bag.
Yeah.
And then you rest JT right before the playoff run. Maybe that does him some good to get some rest right there. But it's a good point. The bye week is strange. You also have JT going without a break for 13 straight weeks. So that's also a risk factor, I suppose. So that's a good point.
Right.
All right, Ron, what else you got?
You want me to hit my picks up for this week on Underdog? What I've done?
Yeah, give me your top 5. Give me your top 5. Let's just go with 5.
All right. Well, I went over on Jalen Hurts, 283.5 total yards.
Hold on. I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna pick the ticket that you're telling me about right here. Everybody else want to follow along?
Okay.
Maybe we can win together as a big group. I'm trusting Ron Navy.
I actually did 2 of them, Smitty. So you might like one more than the other.
Okay, guys. Link is pinned in the live chat. Play Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. Code Smitty. Link is in the live chat. Link is also in the description. I'm going to do the contest that Ron's giving me right here. Okay, Ron, who is it? Who are we doing? Hurts?
Yeah, you might want me to list both of them because you might like the second one better than the first one. But first one was Hurts for higher than.
Can you send me a screenshot of them both? That might be easier. Send it to my Instagram.
Okay.
And then we'll just throw it.
That way you can.
Yeah,
Hold on a second here.
We'll throw it up.
Let me grab them.
Yeah, I'll play a voicemail while we're here. Michael Payne.
Hey, Smitty, somebody dropped Khalil Herbert. He's on waivers right now. Can I pick him up and drop maybe Pacheco or Rashad White or Madison? I'm not really hurting our running back or anything right now. Can I drop any of those guys for him?
Pacheco and hold on, there's some Brandon Cooks news here. I don't think it's a trade, but hold on. Brandon Cooks was a late addition to the injury report and is being a full participant on Friday. He's expected to play. We were wondering if he would be a healthy scratch, which would indicate that he's been being traded or in the middle of being traded. He still could get traded, but I just wanted to update everybody because we were waiting on that. Michael, as for your question, Pacheco, Khalil Herbert, they're both win a league potential guys. So there's no real, I'd say determining factor as to what players should be scooped up over the other. They're both very, very capable of winning a league if they get into their lineup, and there's just no telling who's going to get into their lineup first. I would say I probably lean toward Khalil Herbert. I think Khalil Herbert's we just know how good he is. We've seen it. Pacheco, we know he's talented, but we haven't seen him do it yet. We've seen Khalil Herbert rip off 100. What do you have, 100? Ron, what did Khalil Herbert have that one game? It's 150 and 2?
Yeah, something like that.
So we've seen that out of Khalil. We haven't out of Pacheco, and Pacheco's got still some more competition. It's not just him and Clyde. Okay, Ron Navy, I'm looking at your first bet here. It's Gabe Davis higher than 59.5 receiving yards. I like that. That is a very, very good underdog fantasy. Promo code Smitty. I like that one. Kenneth Walker, 83.5 rushing yards over. Josh Allen, 281.5 passing yards. That is over. Barkley, 84.5 rushing yards over. I really like that one. Daniel Jones, I don't know about that one. I don't love having that mixed in for some reason, but that's the only one I'm like, okay. But let's see your other one. I like all the other four though. This one right here. Jalen Hurts over 283 total yards. I love that one. Gabe Davis 59.5 over. Dalton Schultz, I don't know about the Dalton Schultz one either. 40.5. I worry about him just screwing the bet.
Well, look at Chicago. They've given up more to the tight ends. That's why.
Yeah, but he could go out there and just his knee have an issue again and just walk straight to the sideline and not come back.
They could, and anybody can go in there. They could like some of these and swap them out if they want, because it's always that one damn player.
Yeah, Anthony, appreciate you. Does Anthony have a super chat pending? He says he's going to bed. I don't think he does. Okay, I'm gonna get through these super chats real quick. I'll just end this with Ron Navy real quick, and we'll get through this, and then I'll go. I like this one too, so maybe I will tweak mine a little bit. I'm gonna regret it if you end up landing and I don't. But I like some of these.
I've landed a bunch already.
I feel like Justin Jefferson touched 0.5 TDs. That means he gets one, you win. I kind of feel like JJ getting a touchdown it feels like a lock. I'm going to put JJ with a touchdown higher than half a touchdown. So one touchdown. Adams. No, those numbers are pretty good. Olave, 68.5 yards. That's a pretty good one. I think Olave is going to hit that number. Najee Harris. Let's see what I haven't looked yet. Let's see how low Najee Harris's number is on Underdog. Promo code Smitty, and how much I still can't bet it. because it's going to be really low, and I'm still not going to be able to do it. Najee Harris, 47 yards rushing. And I still don't want to bet it. I still don't want to take the over. I can't.
I didn't take any Steelers. I didn't do any Steelers.
Jalen Hurts, 0.5. Oh. Let's see. Jalen Hurts, 0.5 rushing TDs. He's got to have a rushing TD, right?
Yeah, but that's the one. I didn't take that one because the Steelers are usually pretty good down by the goal line.
So total yards, I do like that one best. 283 total yards for Jalen Hurts. Yeah, that's a money. That's a money. Who would you have? Gabe Davis was the other one. Let's see here. DeAndre Swift, 25 receiving yards. That's a good one. But 80, DeAndre Swift, 80.5 total yards. But it's probably safer ones than that for right now. Just in case he pulls up.
Stay away from injury, guys.
I hate even putting it on players that I want to do well. Because, then you just start getting double mad if things go bad.
Yeah.
Dameon Pierce, 72 yards rushing. That's pretty good. 72.5 rushing yards. Dameon Pierce feels like a lock for that, right, guys? That's low.
Who are they going against again? Tennessee?
Yeah.
I don't think he's a lock. Tennessee's got a pretty decent defense. Yeah. Run defense, anyways. Look what JT did against. They shut JT down.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker, what was it? 82 rushing yards you liked? I could get behind that. I'm gonna punch that one. And then
if you got 82 rushing yards, that's better than mine because I locked it in at 83.5. And everybody needs to realize that these numbers they're changing these numbers up constantly. So get in what you can.
What was the Josh Allen one that you have higher than 331 total yards? That's a pretty good one, but I think I'm going to pass on that one, and I'll show you my ticket. That Gabe Davis.
Allen, I had Josh Allen at 281.5 passing yards.
Yeah.
And then the other one I had at 31.5 total yards.
I don't mind that one.
So there's two different ones.
Yeah. Here's my ticket. I think this is a good one. So this is just one I made. This is one I made real quick. This is the one that's a combination of what you got going on with just a little tweak. So I have Jalen Hurts over 283 total yards. I agree with you. I have Justin Jefferson with 1 touchdown or more. So it's 0.5 over. So if he gets his score, he wins. Walker, 82.5 rushing yards. Jonathan Taylor, 91.5 total yards. I like that one. And Gabe Davis, 59.5 receiving yards. That feels like a money pick right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch JT. I'm not touching JT at all.
I like that one.
I'm just not.
What do you guys think on that ticket? Anybody disagree with one of those? All right, Ron, I better jump to these super chats or I'm going to get way behind. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, sure. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to these super chats here. Ron Navy, appreciate you. TP says drop Dalton for Malik, Waller, pick up Irv, or go grab a tight end. I take Waller for sure, and I drop Dalton for Malik, and I start Malik. I start Waller as long as everything looks good to go, or if you have a better option. I don't like Irv over him though. If Waller's playing, everything looks good to go. Pollard, Hopkins, or Higgins can only flex one. Hopkins is a tad bit safer in PPR. Or no, Higgins might be. Higgins might be the most safe player in PPR. Pollard's that higher upside, higher risk. Higgins is safe though. You can't really go wrong there. You probably should be making trades if I'm you, because you're going to struggle with that every single week. I've got Allen, Dalton, Malik, and Watson in Superflex. Start 2. And would you drop Darnold for an IR, or drop Darnold from IR? Yeah, I don't care about Darnold at all, bro. Not one single bit. You're obviously putting in, Allen. Malik Willis for me, and Watson's not, playing. So it comes down to Dalton or Malik is your question, right? So give me Malik. Dalton's okay. If you're a worried William Sam, which I don't think you are, you could go safe and go Dalton, but I'm going to roll the dice. Pittman for Devontae Smith and Judy. I'd rather have Pittman. I think Pittman's really, really good, bro. I think he's very undervalued. He bounced back in a major way, then had a bad week, and everybody's jumping off the train again. And it's time to jump in. Go get Pittman now before it's too late. DK or Allen Robinson. If DK's playing, I'm playing DK, especially over a guy like Allen Robinson that has just as much risk to drop a dud game. I heard they didn't find any tears or anything, tears or anything with DK. Plus Lockett is out, so I don't think it's a decoy. So that's what Ron Navy's assessment is, that there's no tears. I heard there were some damage. So maybe there's less than was first reported. The report was wrong. That goes back to what I'm saying, that the reporting's always wrong. You can't assume the first report you hear, or even the most up-to-date report that floats out there for days. You just can't assume anymore that it's always airtight. Donovan says I'm a degenerate. Is that angled toward me, Donovan? I'm just curious. Spacula, appreciate you. Spacula's a goat, not me. Just let me know when I can call. Thank you, Ron, for dialing in. Rod Shaft. Donovan, am I a degenerate? Is that what you're saying? Only been here a month, but when I saw your Moon Men, I knew it was the right place. Look, I got some people that think the Moon Men list is doing bad, but Rod Shaft knows it's not. The Moon Men list is doing very well.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
Space Monsters, indeed. And yeah, we got to check on Lockett, because I don't know if he's actually out, Ron. When you said that, I was wondering where you saw that. Hold on. Lockett. Let's check out Lockett, Ron. Ron Navy, you might want to adjust your DFS here. Hold on. Yeah, the last I heard on Lockett was that he was expected to play, Ron. So let me see if I can pull up some news on Lockett. I did wonder when he said that, too. I was going to look it up, and I forgot. I got distracted. Yeah, Lockett's going to play, Ron. Whoever said that is right. Neil said that. He's right. Look, Lockett, just so you know, Ron, Lockett, according to Schefter, is expected to play week 8. But again, maybe it's the reverse. But appreciate you, Rod. Rod, you get a Moon Men shot for your $10 hauler. Anybody that drops a $10 wad on screen gets sent straight to the moon.
To the moon.
Appreciate you, Rod Shaft. Our guy. Where are we at? Rush. Hi, Smitty. To the moon. Carter or Boyd? Give me Boyd, my guy. Either one could outscore the other. Understand that, but it's 50-50 season. So, of course, I could be wrong on these. I mean, some of these 50-50 calls, I'm lucky if I get them 75% right, or 65 some weeks. And some weeks I'll get them 49%. They're 50-50 calls for a reason. Who do I trade Boyd for once Chase is healthy? That's a loaded question about the future, bro. And who's going to buy a falling knife? Who's going to catch a falling knife? Someone might, but like, who do I trade Boyd for once Chase is healthy? That's like saying, I'm going to ride Jamal Williams, and as soon as Swift's back, I'm going to sell him. Who can I sell him for? No one wants him. No one wants him. You're better off holding Boyd, Lancaster. I'm going to give you the best advice you're going to get all year when it comes to this situation. Hold him. He's a cuff. He's a cuff to Jamar. Jamar goes out there and re-injures because he comes back too early. Guess what you've got? You've got a value piece on your lineup that goes up immediately and protects you. It's a safety net, Lancaster. Don't be trading him for pennies on the dollar once Jamar's back. Hold him, bro. He's a safety net. 2-5. Would you trade Chase for Ayuk? No. AB?
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
You haven't been. Yes, Young. DK's playing week 8 now. AB, I haven't disapproved you. And I especially love the avatar. It's Ramondre Stevenson season. But I will say, bro, you must be a Niner fan. You must be a Niner fan. There's no way that Jamar Chase should be traded for Brandon Ayuk, bro. Like, that's not even close. That's not even close, my guy. Not even close. Notice you high on Malik. Should I start him over Russell? I would. Over London Russ. I gotta watch the Jake Paul, bro. Jake Paul has won you a down payment. How can I gotta see the replay of this. Was it? I don't know if I want to know. Kind of want to find out on the surprise. Go to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. 2-5. You trade Chase for Ayuk. No. Neil with a $10 hauler. My fault, Smitty. Hope this makes up for the monetization. Don't worry about it, pal. It's okay. Thank you, Neil. Appreciate you. And it may not do anything. It's not always a lock to be an issue. And people think I don't like swear or something. I swear like a sailor. It's just for the videos. They put you in different monetization buckets when you're, a foul language show. There's Nike doesn't want to be run on your ad roll, bro. If you're dropping bombs left and right, even one bomb, they kind of put you in a different bucket. Smitty, answer Rob Shaft super chat. I did answer Rob Shaft super chat, bro. Pick 3 running backs: Mixon, Jones, Walker, Stevenson, B-Rob, Khalil Herbert. Give me Mixon, give me Walker, and probably give me, I guess, Aaron Jones. I wouldn't mind Stevenson or Jones. That's a tough one. Can I get a vote on this one? Aaron Jones or Stevenson? Who you starting? I'm not starting B-Rob because that situation is not great. Awesome, Neil. Appreciate you. Smitty, JT, and Kittle for ETN and Walker. JT and Kittle for ETN and Walker. Give me ETN and Walker, my man. That's an easy one. That's light work. Give me a vote on this one. You want Stevenson or Aaron Jones in your lineup this week? Let's give the man a vote. Let's help out Boyne, whatever your name is. Stevenson. A lot of Stevensons, bro. Might want to trust the group think on this one, because that's a close one. Standard scoring, pick 1. Gordon, Dillon, London, Hunt. Probably London. Drake London. Or drop 1 using my number 1 waiver claim for Eno. Yeah. Bro, Eno's worth it. At this point, you're talking about walking into week number 9 next week. Pick up Eno and start him. That's a great play this week. So you answer your own question with that creativity there and give me that little bit of information that changed the whole question, bro, the whole answer. Am I crazy wanting to start ETN over Jonathan Taylor? No. You're not crazy, but my question to you would be, is your flex really ETN and Jonathan Taylor? Are you really that stacked, Omar? Because if you are, you need to make a trade. Or are you messing with your running back 1 spot and you're thinking your other players are more secured and locked in? Because I don't know how, Omar, JT and ETN's your flex call. I just don't buy that unless you play in a 4-man league with 3 grandmas. Fantastic team, though, if you've got that dilemma, Omar. Omar's living life right now. Got a lot of Stevenson votes. Yeah, go get Eno. That's a great pickup, man. That's what you've been waiting to use that pick for. Don't be sitting on the number 1 waiver claim. What are you going to get next week? A kicker with it? Like, use it. Use it now on Eno, bro. You could trade Eno before kickoff even and get into a nice situation if you wanted to. Eno's got good value. Thanks, Donovan. Hey, we were waiting on Donovan for something. Donovan said something like, oh, didn't you call me a degenerate, Donovan? Or are you calling somebody else a degenerate? I'm a grinder. I'm a grinding degenerate. Start 3, ETN, JT Swift, Eno. ETN, JT Swift. I love Eno. We just started talking them up, but those are 3 really good options. You could go Eno over Swift if you wanted to get crazy, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and that's your next line. I didn't even read it yet. Am I crazy for considering Eno over Swift? No, but I wouldn't do it. I couldn't live with myself. Oh, I shouldn't say it like that. I would be very upset at myself. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror for at least a week. Malik to the moon. Let's go, Brian. Who would you trade Eno for? Gabe Davis comes to mind. Smitty, you didn't read Rob Shaft's super question. Okay, let's go to Rob Shaft. Rob Shaft. Rod Shaft. Only been here a month, but when I saw your Moon Men, I knew it was the right place. Loved your philosophy and humor. Starting Walker and... I'm sorry, Rod. Man, I straight up shafted you on your question, Rod Shaft. I'm sorry. Pick 3, Kamara, Pierce, Walker, Etienne. Give me... Oh, bro, you need to make a trade. Someone help out Alvaro. Vote for him. He needs 3. Kamara, Pierce, Walker, Etienne. Group think. Let's go. Kamara, Pierce, Walker, Etienne. Vote for him. Starting Walker and JT need a flex of 1. Etienne, Pierce, Stevenson. I go Etienne. I love Stevenson. I love Pierce. Pierce has a little bit more risk of getting game scripted out than Etienne, but it's a higher, like, Pierce is safer than Etienne. Etienne's got more risk and more upside, Rod. I'm sorry I shafted you on your question, but we took care of you after all. But if the chat disagrees with me and likes Pierce over Etienne, please speak up for Rod. Please let Rod know what you would do in that situation. We got a bunch of Etiennes over here. Pierce, Etienne, Pierce. Start 3, Etienne, JT, Swift. You like how all the followers here, everybody here's got Etienne, Pierce, and Stevenson and Walker problems. Like we're a big Walker, Etienne, Stevenson, and Pierce community. I don't think any community on the face of this planet Earth or any other planet has more shares of those guys than us. Start 3, Etienne, JT, Swift, Eno. Oh, I think I answered this one. So yeah, I'm going to put Eno on the bench. I just couldn't, yeah, I already answered that one. Okay. Joe, my man Joe. Same question, Swift or Foreman? Swift. Swift for me, Joe. I couldn't do that. I couldn't put Foreman in. Foreman could outscore him, sure, but I couldn't do it, Joe. Couldn't do it. Pollard or Etienne? Give me... These are so tough. This week sucks. I don't know how we put Pollard on the bench. I don't know how we put Etienne on the bench. I'm putting Etienne in. I can't sit Etienne. Saquon for Swift and Gabe Davis. No, I'm keeping Saquon, my guy. Kamara or Mixon? Kamara. And I'd probably go Etienne, but I don't know. Is there a way you could find a way to get Pollard into your lineup for goodness sake, bro? Appreciate you, Navage. Let me see. I had somebody order a call. And I don't know. I was trying to get him to... These aren't going through. Hey, Spiffy, if you're watching, I'm trying to text you. I've been trying to text you for like an hour and a half, and it just keeps rejecting the text, bro. Smitty, I think we missed my $10 holler. I bet you I didn't, Eric. I bet you it's on screen. I bet you're next, bro. $9.99 holler to the moon.
To the moon.
$10 moonshot. Eric, there's a long wait for a table here. Okay? This isn't like your mom's favorite hot dog stand, okay? Or a sandwich shop. This is a gourmet steak restaurant. It's got a long line out the door, and you need reservations, so it's going to take just a little bit of time to get through these super chats. How do you turn AJB into Diggs? Says Landon, who got held in moderation by the YouTube automation because he's dropping F-bombs in the chat. So Landon, you guys, be careful on that. It's not always, the moderators putting you in check. You want your questions to be read. You can't drop F-bombs and such. YouTube's not a fan of it. Devin says I missed his super chat. I'm going to guess I didn't, Devin. I'm going to guess, Devin, you just dropped your super chat a second ago. So you're in a little bit of a line, pal. Unless you drop a $20 spot, it doesn't get you're in order of which they've received, my man. So just hang tight. Hemza, your comment got moderated too by the system because you're dropping a kind of a mean directive. So be careful. Your mama's favorite hot dog stand. You like that, right, Billy? Okay. So what's up, Smitty? We're 6-1, thanks to you. Traded Brees for AJ, then you lucked out on that one, bro. You slipped on a banana peel and landed in a pot of gold. Traded Brees Hall. Traded Brees Hall for AJ. God was looking out for you. You got struck by lightning and it sent you to the moon. Then flipped for Diggs. So you got Brees for, looks fantastic. Any trades? Josh Allen, JT, Chubb, Aaron Jones, J-Rob, Jamal Williams, Diggs, Evans. No, bro. I mean, your team's fire. What are you gonna do? You know, would I trade like an Aaron Jones and Aaron Jones and Evans for like a JJ or Cup or something? Sure, and try and get something back. Like other than that, like you're sitting really nice. Do I trade J-Rob and Evans for Adams? Yes. Do I trade J-Rob and Evans for, you know, anybody in that Adams Diggs range? Absolutely. Do I trade Aaron Jones and J-Rob for Walker? Yes. So there's always room to improve. Like those moves to the moon, by the way.
To the moon.
$10 hauler. Those moves are phenomenal. Aaron Jones and J-Rob for Swift. Devontae, replace Devontae and J-Rob. Hell, throw all of them together. Diggs, I'm sorry, Dodo. Don't trade Diggs. J-Rob, Devontae, and Aaron Jones for Walker. All of that for J-Rob, Devontae, Aaron Jones for Swift. You've already got JT. That would be a buy low. Adams. I'd do all three of those for those guys. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's see here. Where are we at? This one's from That Boy. That Boy says, do I flex Walker or ETN tomorrow? I can't sit Walker. I love both of them. You got to find a way to play both of them. Also, Samuel or DK. I'm going DK. Samuel never was on that train, bro. I'm certainly not going to get on now. And DK's playing. Like, you got to play him. Should I do Lockett plus Pollard for Lamb and Tony? Lockett plus Pollard for Lamb and Tony. Take Lamb and I think run, bro. It's not that I don't love Pollard, but he's not guaranteed anything yet. He's getting a nice little start, and then the bye week kind of saves ETN and maybe gets him back on the field. PPR, Willis or Dalton? Moore. So I go Willis over Dalton. DJ Moore, Ayuk or Sutton? Give me DJ Moore. I just feel like they're going to lean on him a lot, and if the team's losing, even better for him. He's going to get volume. Pittman or Eno? I'm going to go Eno safer. Pittman's higher risk, higher reward because of Ellinger being in there, and you just don't know. So Eno safer. If you want to go high risk, high reward, you can go the other route. We got a $20 hauler immediate from Mar. Mar, $20 hauler.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Immediate assistance.
Would Mar please report to the front stage? Mar, please report to the front stage.
Mar on the front stage. Okay, I posted my question on your week 8 news video because I cannot afford a super chat it. Because I cannot afford to super chat it. Well, you just super chatted it, bro. Would like to help in making a few trade decisions and who to drop to make room for Cordero Patterson when he's healthy. Use the whiteboard if you can. Oh, because it's too long, you're saying? Can you call up Mar? Nobody call in but Mar right now. Okay? Or you're gonna get the block. Okay? This is for Mar. Mar, call in right now. It's gonna be a little easier to break this down on the marker board with you on the phone, Mar. So only Mar call in. I don't want to hear it. Oh, was I not supposed to call in? I'm telling you right now, Mar is the only one allowed to call in, or we're gonna take that number that dials in where it's Bob or Steve from accounting, and we're gonna hit the little block feature. Mar, I'm waiting for you, pal. Let's go. Let's roll. I'll hit some of these other super chats while we wait for Mar to call in. Hopefully Mar is able to. Lost Chase. Nobody wants trades. Maybe because I'm in first. Well, if you're in first, then you can hold Chase and be fine. Have to roll with Ayuk and either Dobbs or Van Jefferson. Go Ayuk with Debo out. Would you start Swift or Aaron Jones? Swift. Aaron Jones might be a tad safer. And when I say safer, I don't mean like it's not that much safer. I mean, Aaron Jones could flop at any moment. So it's because Swift's injury risk of getting re-injured. That's the only safety part of that, analysis. It's all Aaron Jones's risk of dudding, which I like him, but he could be a dud at any moment. Is almost as great as Swift's getting hurt probably. Start JT Swift. Start 4. JT Swift, Walker. That's a clear top 3 there. And probably going to be St. Brown. I like Stevenson. I love Pollard. I love Lamb. You need to make a trade. Start 4. Devin, what are you sitting on all that talent for, bro? You could turn that into gold. That's phenomenal. East Coast Tatty. Smitty is the GOAT. Algier or Herbert? Give me Khalil Herbert. Algier's had enough time and hasn't done anything. I'm disappointed in Algier. He looks so promising in the offseason. I was wrong on Tyler Algier. Maybe he comes back to... Maybe he does what we thought he was going to do later. I don't know. Got Keenan Allen for Foreman and Cooks. Keenan Allen for Foreman and Cooks. I like that, actually, bro. I'm buying low on Keenan Allen at that cost of entry. That's pretty good. That's really good. We're waiting on, who are we waiting on? Mar Reese to call in. Only Mar Reese to call in. Guys, don't call in unless you're Mar. I'm going to open the phone lines after that. Don't worry. Need to start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. JJ and St. Brown are your wide receivers. Walker and Stevenson are your running backs. And your flex is probably going to be Eno Benjamin is the safest. Stevenson's the little bit higher risk because of Belichick and usage, but highest reward out of all these guys. Pittman is also a safe, but maybe less upside. So Stevenson's probably your high risk, high reward. Eno is your safe play. You got to kind of pick your poison at that last spot. But I feel confident on the other ones. You're live on the show. Is this Mar?
This is Mar. What's up, Smitty?
Mar, what's up, my guy? I felt like this would be a little easier than to try and find that question and all. So hit me with your team real quick and let's marker board session this out. Let's give you some marker board therapy here.
Okay, I got Jalen Hurts, Chris Godwin, DeAndre Hopkins, Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Walker, Tyler Higbee, Devonta Smith, DeAndre Swift.
Hold on one second. Let me catch up. Hurts, Godwin, Hopkins, Barkley, Walker. And then who?
Tyler Higbee.
Okay.
Devonta Smith, D. Swift, Kyle Pitts, Jerry Jeudy. I have Kristen Kirk, Rashad White, Kadarius Toney, Cardell Patterson, and Marquise Brown.
Tony, Jeudy, Patterson, Hollywood. Who was after Pitts?
Jerry Jeudy, Christian Kirk, Rashad White, Tony, Pat, Hollywood.
Okay, good. What are we doing here again?
So, I was trying to make a trade. This guy, he wants DeAndre Swift and Pitts for Mark Andrews, or he wanted Walker and Pitts for Mark Andrews.
Nope.
So, trying to make a decision on that.
Nope. I mean, Andrews is injured. Like, here's what concerns me. I love buying Andrews. So you're in your mind's in the right. You got your head in the right place. You're on the right path, but you can't be trading for a guy that came out and was like decoy in the previous week, and then this week comes out and gets injured off of that decoy, like, or that like dud of a week, so back to back. So there's concern. Like, I'm buying him because I feel like he could, get back on his horse and go. But like, you can't be trading guys that are ranked above him when he's hurt. You know what I mean? So assume the worst with Andrews. don't assume everything's going to be, fine and amazing and back to normal the next contest. It's just not the way that it looks right now. So if this guy's trying to sell him as if there's no problem. This guy's he's that guy that's so annoying. It's like, I want your best player, but I'm not trading you any of my 3 best players. This is that guy, isn't it? He literally wants the world, but he's going to be restrictive over what you can go after on his roster.
Actually, he's not one of those guys. He's 3-4 right now. He had Brees Hall. He went down, of course. He got Andrews. His squad is not that good.
So
he's just trying to survive.
Yeah, well, Godwin and Pitts is the only thing I'm touching in the lineup to go get him, or Higbee. Higbee and Godwin. C. Patterson I would trade. Kirk I would trade. Hollywood I would trade. I mean, I'd trade anybody on the bench. So, for Andrews, would I give up Godwin and Higbee? Yes, for Andrews. Absolutely. I'd take that chance all day. Why? Because you got Kirk you could throw into your lineup instead of Godwin. That's fine. Andrews would be fire. I love the idea again, Andrews. I really do. But there's no way I'm trading a player that would arguably get drafted handful of picks ahead of Andrews right now, even if Andrews was healthy. And he's not healthy, and this guy's trying to sell him for a top 15 overall draft slot. Walker, can I get in the chat? Can you throw out a number overall if you were drafting today? What number overall, not just running backs, overall would you draft Walker? Where's this a comfortable number? 7, 8,
so
5.
So even if Mark Andrews was healthy, you still would not have made this trade.
No, I draft Walker over Andrews all day long. And I'm a little higher on Walker, so maybe we're going to see 10s and 12 and numbers like that. But I'm super high on Walker. I think Walker's special, man. He's Lev Bell. He has the patience of Lev Bell, and I think I'm definitely higher than most people. So we're seeing a lot of 9s, 10s, 8, 7 to 12, 12, 10, 14. 14 to 15, 12. But that's still way higher than Andrews.
Yeah, me too. I love him. I don't want to give him up, but I feel like I needed a tight end to plug in the hole. I felt like that was the weak spot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but then you're just creating another weak spot at running back. Not that you have a weak 1 and 2, but you don't want to get rid of the running back depth. I would go get him, but I would just try and give up Godwin, Higbee, C. Patterson. If he's hurting, giving him 3 players, even Kirk, give him Kirk and Godwin. Who cares? You give him some players that he can use. With Higbee, he's kind of I don't want to say he needs to take it, but if he's 3 and 4, and you're offering him a very good tight end in Higbee, and you're giving him other players he could throw right in his lineup and try and score points. I mean, I would advise him not to do it and say go get a different deal if he was calling my show. But I mean, he's also probably not thinking like that. He's probably going, this is the best I can get. I'll do it.
Right. So I'm gonna try to offer him a couple of receivers then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if that works.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, one more question. The guy that have Jamar Williams, he's a very picky guy. When I tried to make him an offer, he rejected, and he wanted Devonta Smith, but I know that's not a good trade. What do you think I should offer him?
I give him anyone on your bench for Jamal Williams. Not because Jamal has earned that, but because it's a nice safety move for you, and the odds are you don't need any of these bench guys anyway. You're looking to just shore up your... that gives you a guaranteed running back, top 15 running back, guaranteed top 12 to 15 running back, no matter what, with one of these spots. And I like the feeling, and you could, yeah.
Because he didn't want Judy, so maybe I could offer him Kirk.
I'd try not to give him Kirk if you can, but I would give him Hollywood and, well, that's tough. I mean, Hollywood.
He's hurt.
Yeah, Hollywood's hurt, so it's hard to trade him, but it's also hard to give him up too. But I would probably give him anyone on your bench to secure Jamal. Try to not give him Kirk. like C. Patterson's interesting for him, I would imagine.
Yeah, he already has about 6 run. This guy's a running back hoarder. So,
yeah, Kirk is hard to trade. He doesn't want duty. Would anybody give up? What would you rather give up if, or you could say neither, but if you're him and you want to secure Swift, who would you give up more, chat? Kirk or Hollywood? And he'd be kind of crazy not to take either, because that he's not doing him any good, to hold on to Jamal. Like, he's banking on an injury.
Yeah, he's already, the guy's 2-5. His season is over.
Yeah, so who would you guys rather give up if you had to overpay? Anthony says Hollywood. And you can say neither, but I'm just curious if you want to secure up this. I mean, he's got enough depth to do it. Sometimes you got to overpay to do a smart move that protects your lineup. We got one Hollywood, one Kirk vote, one Kirk vote, one Kirk vote. Kirk. I think they're saying trade Kirk, not hold Kirk, right? So trade Kirk. Overwhelming Kirk. I don't know why everyone's overwhelming on that, but I mean, Hollywood's injured, so I would send Hollywood myself, but
right now I asked for, I sent him Hollywood and Judy. He hasn't accepted or declined so far.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And you could always pick up like a Hasty or, a backup quarterback because you don't have one, right? So like Malik Willis right now. So if he accepted that, you'd be fine just picking up some waiver guys, right? I mean, there should be, based on your bench, I could imagine there's some good waiver talent still there.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Appreciate your super chat.
Thanks, man. Keep going.
Yep. Later, pal. All right, let me get the rest of these super chats out, then we're opening up the phone line. Spiffy, if you're here, man, I've been trying to text you, bro. Okay. All right. So he who collects, I helped you out already. Appreciate you. This is from John. No. This is from Johan. Let's see. I am Chase Burrow owner and 7-0. Nice job. 8-team PPR starting wide receivers Olave, Amari, Keenan Allen with my starting running backs Chubb, Fournette, Pierce. Any advice? Okay. Appreciate your super chat, by the way. 7-0 is nice. I think, man, I'm kind of surprised that who's your quarterback? You have to have one of the top quarterbacks in the league. You got to have Josh Allen or Mahomes. Excuse me. I would probably say I would look to trade if this was my team. I would try and trade Chubb for JT and a pretty decent wide receiver, like a Gabe Davis at the very lowest, and reach a little higher if you can, like an AJ Brown. I doubt you get AJ Brown but it just depends on how this. Like, no offense on this, okay? Don't take offense to this, but in 8-man leagues, or 8-man and woman leagues, it's you're more likely than in a 10-person league or 12-person league. In an 8-person league, you're more likely to find a group of people that are a little less into it, because usually, and it's just what I've found in most situations, because you barely get enough people together, you're scraping by, pulling in 1 or 2 people that really have never played before or something. So you're probably looking, I would guess, at a potential group of people that are a little less into it than the average person is in a 12-person league, a 14-person league. So if I'm you, I go to that JT owner and I try and get JT in a big player like AJ Brown. If you can't settle for Gabe Davis, using Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb to a novice is gonna think Nick Chubb's miles above JT, and some people in this chat might feel that way. So no problem, Mar. Appreciate you. So my advice is to go get JT. If you can't get JT, then go get Walker and a wide receiver at the Adams to down to AJ Brown level for Nick Chubb. I think that might help your team out quite a bit. If you go as low as ETN, I would probably say you need to get a much more guaranteed wide receiver like Adams. So if you traded Chubb for Adams and ETN, I'm all for that. Or Diggs. So try and go do all those options. I think all those would help you. And I don't know if the ETN owner has Adams or Diggs, but you'd have to kind of look at those. Go to the Diggs owner, see what running back they have. Maybe they have one that I'm talking about. Go to the Adams owner, see if they have one. Go to the Walker owner, see if they have a wide receiver I'm talking about. Just kind of go through the motions on that. But appreciate you. Hopefully that gives you enough firepower and ammunition to get something done. Appreciate you. Donovan, I recently found Smitty, and he is a Deegan like myself. Thank you, Donovan.
To the moon.
That goes out to, Donovan as well. Thank you, Reese. Appreciate you. Moonshot to Reese, and then moonshot to Smoke Tower, who just dropped a $10.
To the moon.
Smoke Tower. Hey, Smitty. Hey, Smitty. Do you have a favorite team? Happy Halloween and don't work too hard. It's Saturday night. I work hard every day. This is just the way life is, pal. But I appreciate your concern for me. And happy Halloween to you as well. I would say, I'm in Arizona, so I'm obviously a Cardinal fan. But I have family from Buffalo, half of my family from Arizona, or I can say a third of my family from Buffalo, a third from kind of spread out all over. But so I'm a big, quiet Bills fan. But if I had to pick, I would say at the end of the day, it comes down to players for me, and that's the beautiful part about my fandom, is that it comes from a place of fantasy football before it comes from a place of being like a Cardinal fan or being a fan of like the Bills or anything like that. It comes from absolute getting into football and fantasy football before I had any sort of allegiance to the Cardinals or any sort of allegiance to any team. So that was what was good for me, and actually I think has helped my career a lot, is that I don't have any of that like sense of I need to make a gut call or analysis based on a team and letting the bias sink in. So I don't really like claim any team, to be honest with you. Like the Cardinals, of course, I'm going to support them probably more than any other team, but I love to be pretty much a free agent, a rogue free agent to cheer for anything and not letting any of that affect me. But of course, I'm in Arizona. I've been, been here my whole life. So, hey, Schmitty, thank you. Appreciate you, Smoke Tower. Jay dropping the super. Who do I drop? Tyler Boyd, don't drop him. Or Foreman. Jay, if you've got in a vacuum, drop one of these guys. I guess I'd drop. I don't know. Can't you trade one of them? Like, why are we dropping one of these guys? You in a 7-man league? If I ever get an opportunity to chill with Smitty, it will be epic. Thank you, Donovan. Donovan, we just met. Who do I drop, Boyd or Foreman? If you guys had to drop Boyd or Foreman, who are we dropping here? If in a vacuum, you're forced to. Donovan says Foreman. Gallup or Dobbs rest of season. Probably Dobbs, but I don't like either of them, bro. Daniel, find another option. Foreman. I have to drop one for a kicker, says Jay. Smitty, would you do Andrews your side for JT? I take JT and a Goddard in a run, bro. That's not even close. That's light work, Ada. Light work. Drop Foreman, drop Foreman, drop Foreman, drop Foreman. There you go, Jay. Groupthink is always the way to go. These are the last two super chats. Not that more won't come in, and of course, anybody that drops a $20 hauler gets helped immediately. Just got in. Hope your night is good. Picked up Malik. Thank you. I hope your night's good as well, Jonathan. Picked up Malik earlier this week. Thoughts on playing him, keeping him? I like playing him. I like keeping him. Of course, the details matter. You've got Goff and Geno on the bench. Goff's safer. He's got Swift and St. Brown back. That's great. So he's safer. Malik's got a lot more risk, but probably a little more upside. But Goff's still got good upside. Probably lean Goff and just kind of hold and see what's what. You're not really in a position where you've got to shove Malik out there because you got Daniel Jones or another option you're worried about, like I don't know. There's so many Fields or whatever. So I'm gonna go with Malik in those cases, and I'm gonna go with Goff if you're looking for safety. If you need a big time home run this week, I mean Goff could still provide that in a way, but maybe Malik is a fun play for you. But definitely Goff safer. Gabe Davis or Pittman half PPR. Give me Gabe Davis. I love Pittman too. I love Pittman. Pittman's fantastic. I like Pittman. Pittman's gonna have a big, I think, season go forward. But so is Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis flirts with that running back, or wide receiver 1 value sometimes. All right, phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Get down. Get down with the show. Dial in. Call the number. Do it now. Where's my Arnold? Dial into the show. Do it now. Get down. Call in if you want to leave. Let's see. First caller here. You're live. What's up? Identify yourself. Turn down that background. It's pretty. If you could, thank you. All I hear is myself. Yeah. Well, we still hear it. It's like really loud in the background, but. Okay, I don't know. Okay, go ahead. Hit me with your question. I got both of you on the line somehow. I only got one caller on, which is weird. It closed one out. I don't know. Having a phone issue. Let's. No. Just hang tight. Let's help the other guy first, and then I'll help you next. So go ahead with the other caller. Go ahead. We're on the board.
I got Murray. Yeah, after that, so you just come back.
I mean, I don't know who's got something got the show playing in the background. Maybe it's the other caller. I'm not sure. All right, go ahead. Murray?
Murray. I got Fournette. I got Mostert. Got Diggs.
Okay, Diggs, go ahead.
I got Boyd.
Okay.
Yeah, I got her. I got Foreman. I also have Metcalf a bench, and I have Underdog Robinson for a little bit.
Okay.
Well, basically, I'm just going everybody through Diggs the top guys with Boyd, Metcalf, or Foreman, basically. Yes, I also have played with more down with bases to the back, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I mean, what I would try and do if I'm you is make a trade here. DK and Fournette for one better player, DK and Mostert for one better player. Boy.
Tomorrow?
Well, in general, but tomorrow, I think your lineup is set for tomorrow. Foreman should be pretty steady. I suppose I would go DK over Fournette if you felt like you wanted to take that risk on, but Foreman should get a. I'm sorry, I meant Foreman. DK in for Foreman isn't crazy, but I think it just depends on if you want to roll that dice with DK because DK is playing.
Yeah, I didn't know if you think Boyd didn't want to play him for sure.
So if I'm being honest, looking at the team, what's your record? 6-1. 6-1. Wow. How you? No offense on this, but how you 6-1? Like that's. Yeah. I'm not saying your team's awful, but I'm just like that. That doesn't.
Actually, my team has scored really well. I have NBA too, and I just traded for you. So I'm not sure. So I could usually
Well,
for you.
I don't care about
I also have Patterson in Hollywood. Of course, not playing at the moment. But the Cowboys, the A's, I lost that 22. So I'm going to make that move for Steve because I know what's going to happen at DK win.
Yeah.
Looks like a little
yeah. So everyone's saying they can't hear. Why don't you? I'm gonna disconnect with me if you don't mind and call back, or I can just tell you what I would do. What I would do, yeah, disconnect and call back if you can. But I'm going to tell you what I would do, what my advice would be, anyway. So if you want to listen to that, I can help you. But as far as your lineup this week, I mean, there's nothing to really do unless you want to take the risk on DK. But I would probably divide and conquer Diggs into 2 players if you can. So I'll tell you in a second. But it sounds like people can't hear you. So I'm gonna disconnect on you.
Okay.
Okay, call back if you want though.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to hang up on here, and if anybody wants to dial back in, they can. I might even have to close the phone line down and open it back up, so hang tight while I reopen that, because everything was sounding okay for me. It wasn't at first, but it started to sound okay, but then I guess people are saying they can't hear. I don't know. Dude is light years ahead. I don't know if you guys are what you were hearing. It sounded all right to me. All right, phone lines are back open. So my advice to you, my guy, is to take Diggs, trade him into 2 players. I just don't think this team's winning at all. I know you're 6-1. I don't know how, to be honest. I think it's got some good parts to it, but I would definitely take Diggs, turn him into 2 players. You're live on the show. Who am I talking to?
Yo, what up? My name is Jack.
What's up?
Yo, I've had Javonte Williams and Brees Hall this year, so it's been a rough one.
Sorry, pal.
But right now I'm starting Daniel Jones, Benjamin, Darrell Henderson, Chris Olave, Chris Godwin, Keenan Allen, and then I have Dalton Schultz and David Njoku on my bench, who's also hurt.
And who's your wide receiver room again?
I have Chris Godwin, Chris Olave, and Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Underdog Fantasy?
Yeah.
Promo code Smitty, my guy. Go get yourself a new team anytime you want. Promo code Smitty, Underdog Fantasy. They'll match up to $100 on your first deposit. You can redraft at any time. I'm not saying your team can't win it, but my job is to tell you when I think a team's got it, what it takes to. And I'm not saying give up on it by any means, but just make sure you get some other skin in the game. Losing what you lost sometimes is hard. If you don't have the depth for it, you can't. It's hard to come back from it, man. Your 2 best players are who again? I'm sorry, read them off again.
My 2 best players are probably like Chris Olave and hopefully Keenan Allen.
Yeah, that's. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to put on a positive vibe for you, but there's really hard to win. But you sound down, and I wish I could. I'm gonna give you a bro fist, bro. Virtual bro fist. Do you have any other leagues? Is this your only league?
I have one more league that I'm actually killing it in. I have like Saquon and Jalen Waddle and Lamar.
Okay, so it's not all hope is lost, but that team's pretty tough, bro. I wish I could. Yeah. I wish I could give you like a lot of advice on it too, but your two best players are Olave and Keenan Allen. Like it's really rough.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
I'm not trying to. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at it. I'm laughing because you sound like you're trying so hard. You're doing a good job of mustering through it. You sound like a tough kid, bro. You've been through the ringer. You're still standing upright.
Hey, next year's my season.
Hey, give me your other team. Let's talk about something positive. What's your other team look like?
All right, my other team is not as competitive of a league, but I got Lamar, Saquon, Miles Sanders, and then at wide receiver I have Justin Jefferson and Jalen Waddle.
Attaboy.
And then I got Kyle Pitts and Christian Kirk.
Okay.
So that's the lineup.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good team, man. You definitely got a good squad. If Sanders keeps it up, you're in the money. If it's not a very competitive team or league, my advice is to go get a Walker somehow in a league where they don't appreciate him. Maybe you get a JT using Sanders and something. If they don't know what time it is, bro, you can definitely swoop in and say, oh yeah, JT's old news, bro. Sanders is the new JT. If they're not a super competitive league, you're going to be able to pull something like that off. Or they won't trade at all because they're so not competitive, they don't even reply to the trade offers. So it's probably one or the other. But yeah, go try and use Sanders on the high. I'm not saying Sanders can't keep doing it, but I would definitely, if it's me, I'd definitely lateral trade into something safer that doesn't have the risk of dropping off. Walker, ETN. Those are all home run swaps, straight across. And who's on your bench?
I have Jerry Jeudy, Gabe Davis.
Oh, nice.
I got Brandon Ayuk and Tyler Higbee. And I have Allen Robinson, who's kind of shit the bed.
Who do you have? Who do you have at? Who does the JT? Who's weak at tight end? Like, who has no tight end that you could trade Higbee to, or Pitts, either one? Let's see what they have. Because if you traded Higbee, first of all, I like Gabe Davis more than I like Christian Kirk, by the way.
Good to know.
Now that I say that, Kirk's gonna have 3 touchdowns, just so you know. So be careful of that. That's the way it always goes. But Ayuk's going to have a pretty decent game because Debo's out. So trade high on Ayuk after this week. That's going to be part of what you think you need to do because you have very little time to pull a trade off tonight. So if JT or Walker has a bad game, Sanders has a good game, guess what? It's buy low, sell high season. I'll just leave you with this. You can take a look at it yourself. But go to the teams that are struggling at tight end. Offer them Higbee and Sanders for the one player. For the one running back, or offer him Waddle and Higbee for the one better wide receiver, Adams or Diggs, and then boom, bro, it's say goodnight, nail in the coffin, walk straight to the bank, no more sadness.
Yeah, I mean in this league I'm 5-2, and then in my other league I'm 2-5, so it's really day and night.
Attaboy. All right, appreciate you.
Well, thank you, man.
Later.
You have reached the voicemail line. Press 1 for Smitty.
Dude hangs up.
Press 1 for Smitty.
Yo, what's up? You're live.
Oh, how's it going?
You are live.
What's going on here? Hello?
Can you hear me?
No, I can't. You sound like a robot.
Really?
Press 1 for Smitty.
Yo, what's up?
What's up? You're live. Something's wrong with the phone line. This is probably what you guys heard earlier. Now I'm hearing it. I can't hear you, man. I might have to shut the phone line down because it's acting all crazy now.
No, I think it's because you got 2 people on one line.
Well, I'm not. I don't. I know it probably is the case, but I'm only seeing one person at a time. But all right, bro, hit me with it. I can hear you clear. So welcome to the show.
How's it going?
What's up?
So last week I traded CD and Ramondre and flipped it for Devontae Adams and Travis Etienne before he got the starting gig news. But I got Eckler out this week on bye, and I got Henderson in flex right now. I don't know to start Henderson or Robinson. I kind of don't like Henderson.
Henderson or which Robinson?
Brian Robinson.
I mean, you could argue either side of that. What's the live chat think of that? Henderson or B-Rob? B-Rob got 20 carries, bro, but he got like a centimeter a carry last week. It wasn't even.
Yeah, I'm
even
also
cool.
hearing rumors about Gibson being traded. I'm not really sure about that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what I could get too in a trade package for Henderson and Brian Robinson.
Yeah,
I've kind of dealt all the trades I can do this year. I got JT, I got Etienne, I got Hurts, I got Adams, I got Monroe, I got Andrews, I got Eckler.
So I would say that
12 man.
Yeah, I would say like trading Hendy and B-Rob or either one or both isn't a bad idea. But I feel like Hendy's a good start this week. And, the Niners are banged up. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. I think I feel like I would be very tempted to trade one of them, sure, or both of them. Maybe you can get like an undervalued Aaron Jones or something using both of them, or you could trade. I don't know if you need a running back, but you could trade. There are running back needy teams in your league. I can almost guarantee it. There could be a team that has like almost not even one good running back. Go to that team and offer both of them.
I definitely don't need a running back. I'm definitely a wide receiver needy team at this point.
Go get Jamar Chase, bro.
Yeah, but I got Devontae Adams at Monroe, and I just traded for Devontae.
And you can't use Chase as a flex when he comes back.
I could, but what I'm going to be doing right now is I have Hurts. And then I'm going to be starting Eckler and JT once Eckler comes back from bye. And then I got Devontae, Amon-Ra, and Etienne in the flex.
Who's your quarterback in this grandma league?
Hurts in a 12-man PPR.
So what's the question here, bro? You're stacked to the rafters. Like, I mean, if you're not,
I know I have.
Don't take offense to this, but if you're not,
three.
I know, but don't take offense to this. But if you're not wanting to trade both those running backs that you don't even really like for Jamar Chase, like to just be a problem for you on the bench.
Yeah, but I don't think I can get Jamar Chase.
You might.
I love Jamar. I tried so hard for Jamar Chase for probably the past 6 weeks.
Yeah, but
the owner would not.
Have you tried since he's been maybe ruled out 4 weeks?
No, I haven't.
So
he's pretty much denied me every week.
Well.
So.
You know what you could say? You want me to tell you the psychological tactic here? Do you talk to this guy? Like, can you text him or talk to him on the phone or whatever? Or is this only like a?
Oh yeah, we're great friends.
So you just say to him, bro, I'd be interested in Jamar Chase. Have you talked to him about Jamar Chase's injury yet?
No, but I mean, the last thing I offered him was probably like a couple weeks ago. I offered him CD and AJ Dillon and Rashad.
So here's what you could do if you want to be a little you could, I don't want to call it shady, but this is negotiate. Okay. This is negotiation. Send him the 2-for-1 and then withdraw it. Send it to him. Leave it up there for a little bit, enough time to where he's going to see it, especially if he gets notified. Then withdraw it. And then send him a text and go, bro, I didn't realize Chase was out 4 weeks. Sorry, I had to pull the offer. Then just see what happens, bro. Just see what happens. He might come back to you, and then you could at least kickstart the trade negotiation and say, well, I don't know if I'm willing to do what I sent you, but I might still have interest, but I don't think I can wait 4 weeks. What's his record?
I think he's one of the worst teams in the league, but he's coming up. He's 3-4 now. He was 1-4, so he's won his last 2 games.
Yeah, but he's got Jamar Chase out, so he's not coming up on anybody. He's dropping. He's gonna drop right back down.
He's starting. He's got Curtis Samuel and George Pickens starting this week because he's got Juju and Mike Will on bye.
Yeah, so try that tactic out, bro. Send it to him, let it sit there for a while, then withdraw it, and send him a text and just say, hey, hey, I never mind. I didn't really realize he was going to probably be out the 4 weeks. And then, or just send it to him and withdraw. If you don't want to be extra shady like that, you could send it to him, withdraw it, and send him a text and say, hey, I sent you an offer, but I took it down because it's just the more I thought about it, the more I did.
He's not running back needy though. He's got Swift, Jones, and Kenneth Walker.
Okay, what about his wide receivers?
He's very wide receiver needy. So he's got Curtis Samuel, Pickens starting this week, and then like I told you, Juju and Mike Wilson.
I don't know. Just go try and do a deal with him. I don't know. Come back when you got something, bro. Your team's stacked. Your team's stacked. I don't even know what you're looking to do here. You know.
All
right, bro.
Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, call in anytime. Later. Dude calls in with a stacked team, doesn't want to make any trades because his team's so stacked. I don't really know how to help him. Dial in if you have a question. Let's roll. I don't know if I got all these super chats out of the way. Let's check them. This call right here. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Yo, Smitty.
Yo.
What's happening, man?
What's up?
Man, you're harder to get a hold of than the president.
Hey, man. I got the bat phone, the red.
Yeah, no worries. I got a predicament here. I need some help. My lineup is so don't judge me. It's Heineke, ETN, Pierce, DeAndre Hopkins, St. Brown, and then I got an open slot on my tight end. My flex is Eno Benjamin. And the thing about my league, we got defensive players. So linebacker, DL. I'm not going to go over those, but I got a DB slot open. And then my bench is Kelsey, Herbert, Brandon Ayuk, Christian Kirk, Derwin James, Tyler Boyd, Michael Carter, Kadarius Toney, and James Conner.
Okay.
So my tight end spot is open and my DB spot is open, and I don't know who to drop because I don't really want to lose anybody. You know, obviously Kelsey would be there. He's on a bye. Herbert's on a bye, and my DB's on a bye. Derwin James. So on my bench, I don't know who to drop. I don't want to drop Ayuk. I don't really want to drop Kirk. I don't really want to drop Boyd. And the only ones I could really drop is Michael Carter and Kadarius Toney. But I don't know. I have a feeling Kadarius Toney's going to go off sooner or later, and it's a keeper league. So if he does end up going off, I could end up keeping him next year.
How many man keeper league is it? How many guys?
Okay, so this is the thing. Right now it's a one keeper league, but we vote on it before we start the draft, and everyone's talking about having a 2-keeper league.
Well, Tony ain't going to be one of your keepers, bro. Come on. Tony's not climbing up.
Yeah, I probably got to keep like Pierce and ETN.
Yeah,
you're
not keeping Tony, bro. I was expecting you to say like a 10-man keeper league, and I'm gonna be like, maybe two.
Tony might be the next Antonio Brown. You never know.
That would be funny if we revisit this clip and we're laughing at that. But I mean, you got St. Brown, Pierce, ETN. Like you're not keeping Tony. That's Khalil Herbert on the bench, right?
No, Justin Herbert. That's why I have Heineke in.
Okay. Is Malik Willis available?
I don't know what to do. I kind of want to block people, especially the guy that has James Robinson. I kind of want to block him from picking up Michael Carter, but I mean that's the only guy I see plausible dropping. But I mean I don't really want to drop him, to be honest. And the thing is, if I leave a spot open, it's a $10 charge for every spot you leave open, or that doesn't play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm paying $10.
Well, let me ask you this: If you cut Carter, isn't he on waivers and the games play and he can't even pick him up?
Let me see. I mean, if I drop Carter and I go and pick up, tight end off free agency, I'm gonna go all the way down the waiver wire or the waiver order and I'm probably not even going to be able to pick him up. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a lost cause. If like once I drop him, I don't think I'm going to be able to get him back. But I'm kind of in that spot where it's, should I leave a spot open, like my DB spot open, and drop Tony and just pick up a tight end, leave my DB spot open? I'm already projected to tie the guy. The thing is, I'm playing second place, and my team is 6-1, and I'm in first place. Kind of don't want to lose to the second place guy and give up my first place.
Again, my question is, you're not gonna. No one's gonna pick up Carter this week. If you cut him now, he goes on waivers, right? So, but you're saying that if you do a waiver claim, it won't even go through in time for you to use the player.
No, I can. I could drop him right now and go pick up a tight end. But when it comes back to next week, next Wednesday.
Carter's okay, but like you're worrying too much about other teams. I think when people worry about other teams, you end up just screwing up the pickup, and you grab the wrong guy. You're holding the wrong guy at the wrong time. Like, focus on your squad. Don't be looking around the room. Focus on your own homework, bro. All right, look at your own desk. I think the bottom line is you want to always try and score and win. Is Malik Willis available?
You know what? He is. I've been watching you all night. I've been hearing about the Malik Willis, conundrum. Would you play him over Heineke? Heineke, I feel, is like a little safer against Indy.
I don't know about that, bro. Indy's a top 6 defensive play this week because Heineke's in there against Washington. You look at the industry, across the industry, the Colts are a top 6 defensive play this week for a reason. So I don't want to say that, and you make this decision, and then I end up being the one that lost your league because you're listening to me and you're not even listening. You're just taking your advice, throwing it out the window, and just putting my guy in there. I don't want you to do that. I want you to use your own thought process here. But my thinking is, in the chat, I don't know if the chat wants to chime in, Malik Willis has so much more appeal than Heineke, even with the risk, because he's playing Houston. And his running ability is alone like a RB2. Like you're getting RB2 stats immediately just from this guy being on the field. And then if he does pass well, this is like that Taysom Hill game, and if it was the Buffalo Bills that if he was facing the Buffalo Bills this week or something, it'd be different. But it's like, we're not worried about how can he do against defenses. Everyone's saying Willis 100%. Is everyone high, says Billy. Go Willis. Willis. Wait, what? Willis. Don't even like.
I just saw what Heineke did to Green Bay's defense last week, and I was like, why couldn't he do that to Indy?
Bro, Heineke does well, like in a certain, like coming into the game, and then he's dog water after that. Like, I don't mind Heineke, like if you were not looking at a Willis option, or you know what I mean. Like if you had I'm trying to even think of what would be a worse scenario though. You had. I don't know. Someone give me an example. It's Willis for me. It's Willis for me. Indy's a good play though for a reason, bro. Everyone's expecting Heineke to get worked in this game. That's why Indy's got a great defensive matchup rating. They're a top 6 to 7, maybe top 5 to 7 defensive play this week for a reason.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna run Willis out there because you haven't steered me wrong. Yeah, you're the reason why I got ETN and Pierce anyways.
Again, make sure your gut isn't screaming. If your gut's screaming Heineke, bro, then trust your gut over me. But the chat is saying Mills down the whole thing. So like, there's more than just me. I just think that Willis, like, again, he's a running machine. He could go out there, bro, though, and get like hurt right away. Like, I can't predict all that stuff. He could go out there and throw 2 pick sixes right away, and because they got to throw the ball, and then they get ripped from the game or something. I
didn't see him in preseason too. I didn't see him in preseason, so I don't know how he looked either.
So do this before you make the move. Go after the show, of course. Don't leave the show, but after the show, YouTube Malik Willis NFL game footage, not college. Your view is preseason play, and just take a look at it. He's electric, bro. He's electric. And if he's playing the Buffalo Bills, it'd be different. Because then you have those questions of, like, how is he going to do against a real defense in the NFL? He's playing against the Houston Texans, so this is going to be a real, like, nice opportunity to face, like, the easiest possible softball pitch he can get served up with at the NFL level. So it's a nice game for him. It couldn't be set up more perfect. Would I change my tune if it was the next week against a tougher D? Sure. I don't even know who the Titans play. Who's the next matchup? Let's see here. Yeah, so that would be my advice. But anyways, back to the original question. Then I'm going to jump to the next caller because I'm missing tons of calls here. I would say if it's me, I make that move, and if it's me, I drop Carter without much of a concern. And I don't know what tight ends are out there. If like a Taysom Hill's out there or someone like that, that's a good option.
I got Hurst out there. I was looking at Hurst or Irv Smith.
Yeah. All right, man.
And drop Tony, right? Without just hope the guy no one picks him up.
Well, I mean, I think Tony or Carter. I mean,
but I gotta drop two. So it's Carter, and I guess it's Tony because I ain't dropping Boyd, Kirk, or you.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, they're small benches, man. So it sounds like your waiver wire pool is always pretty decent because it's a small bench, and those are decent names to be dropping. So, all right, bro, appreciate you.
All right, man. Keep doing God's work.
Later, man. Identify yourself. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
This is Jaden.
What's up, JJ? What's going on? What can I do for you? Okay. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hello.
What's up?
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We got some phone issues today.
Hey, Smitty, I'm from California, so I have I'm going to give you my team. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so half PPR, Josh Allen, Michael Pittman Jr., Jacoby Myers, Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor, Dallas Goedert, and Deonta Foreman in my flex.
JT, Chubb, and then who was after JT and Chubb?
Dallas Goedert, and then Deontay Foreman in my flex.
Okay.
And then I have Metcalf, London, Wan'Dale Robinson, and that's about it on the bench. So I'm kind of hurting right now. A lot of my guys are hurt.
Okay. All right. So what do we got here? What are we doing? Looking for a trade or?
I tried to trade Josh Allen and my tight end for Lamar Jackson and T. Higgins, but he kind of backed out because he also has Jamar Chase. So as soon as Jamar Chase got hurt, he backed out of the trade.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to sell Josh Allen, and I'm kind of scared of Pittman Jr. I mean, I'm a Colts fan, so I'm kind of biased, but I'm kind of panicking on wide receivers, to be honest.
Well, DK's going to play, so you may want to throw DK back into the lineup.
Really?
There's risk of him getting hurt, going out there, but he's playing. He's playing, bro.
And you for sure want to start Drake London, right?
I wouldn't say that, but like you're talking about Mariota being the problem, not Drake London, and I don't like I don't like Mariota. I don't like the volume, the lack of volume. So for me, it's
would you possibly slide Wan'Dale in there, or what do you think about that?
Not over DK and then Myers after that, but I'd throw DK in. Like, could he decoy? Sure, but like, why would he go out there to be a decoy? Like, if he had any tears in that were concerns, like, yeah, I'm sure you had some injury to the patellar tendon, or we wouldn't have been hearing that he could miss multiple weeks, and then all of a sudden now he's not. But like, apparently it's a lot less severe, and we're lied to all the time about all these injury reports. We don't know what's what anymore. But if he's playing, I can't imagine they would throw him out there as a decoy if there was like risk to it, because that's a serious thing. It's not like, oh, he's got a hamstring, and hamstrings are bad too because you can tear them more. But like, and then he goes out there and they know he can jog around, but they just don't want him firing off at 100% re-pulling it. But like a patellar tendon or a knee issue to play on that is they must feel very confident. I'm not like ultra confident that this won't potentially lead to something else, but I don't know that I could put Myers in there over DK if I've got DK.
Okay, last question for you. Would you pick up Reynolds, Van Jefferson, or Claypool and slide any of them in on the waivers, or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
And you keep Foreman in at the
Foreman's like Chuba's out, so Foreman's gonna get good work. Whether they game script him out but they can still throw to him. He's pretty effective. He's not like a guy you want in there 17 straight games, but like he's in there for spot duty, or he's in there for not spot duty, but like a short season, a shorter season. He might hold up, but Foreman's steady. If you want to divide and conquer anybody, bro, it's probably going to be Chubb or Allen. And if you could trade Chubb for a Kenneth Walker and A.J. Brown or something like that, then I'd do it in a heartbeat. If you could trade Chubb for DeAndre Swift and St. Brown, or DeAndre Swift and A.J. Brown, I'd do it in a heartbeat. If you could trade Chubb for, or if you could trade Josh Allen for Jalen Hurts and a Gabe Davis, I'd probably consider something like that if you're that worried about wide receiver. I'd certainly do it for a receiver higher than Gabe Davis. So if you're talking about Jalen Hurts and T. Higgins for Josh Allen, I'd probably do it. The one thing I'll say about Josh Allen, though, what's your record?
I'm 5-2.
You're 5-2 for a reason. You got Josh Allen carrying you, Chubb carrying you. JT hasn't even done anything yet. Like so JT and Chubb and DK and Pittman and Allen, they should all be pretty good going forward. I don't think you're gonna have a problem. I think JT and Chubb and Allen will be really rock solid going forward. So just
do you feel comfortable with because I got Patterson and Marquise Brown in the IR. I mean, is that something to look forward to?
Yeah, those are good options downstream for sure. All right, bro. I got to jump to the next caller, but look to divide and conquer Chubb for those options. Other than that, you're good.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Later. Deuces. Trevor Lawrence or Malik Willis. This week, am I wrong, guys? Going Malik over Trevor. Trevor's got kind of a tough matchup. I don't know that I love Trevor this week. I like Trevor in general. I like him kind of go forward, but I don't know that I love Trevor Lawrence this week. Is he at home or away? He's at home. That London game. Not at home. He's in London. That's why I don't like it. They're both away. They're in London, and Denver, like as bad as Denver can be on offense, is still not. I just think the traveling could be low scoring. I hate London games. It's like London games are almost as bad, if not worse, than Thursday games. So give me Malik, man. There's a lot of buzz around Malik. He's playing the Texans. Let's go. It's high risk, high reward season. The ruler, you gotta buckle up, son. If you like a little risk, if you're not a worried William, get Malik out there. But Trevor Lawrence, I like a lot. I do like a lot, and I worry about ETN this week a little bit, but not to the point where I'm benching him or anything. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Hello.
Yo, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up, Smitty? How you doing?
Pretty good.
All right, so I'm looking at trade for a wide receiver. Can I give you my team?
Sure.
All right, so I got Justin Herbert, Justin Jefferson, DK, Juju, JT, DeAndre Swift, Gerald Everett, and then I got on my flex Melvin Gordon.
Everett and Melvin Gordon, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lost Brees Hall, so I'm kind of like trying to get another player on my bench.
All right, so Herbert, JJ, DK, Juju on a bye this week, but you got JT still, or JJ or JT? JT? You got both, right?
Yeah, JT
and JJ.
DeAndre Swift.
And Taylor, okay. So, That's
like this week. I got my wide receivers. I have Alex Pierce and Darnell Mooney, which is pretty mid right now.
I can't believe you lost. That sucks. You lost Hall, man. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for everybody who lost Hall, Javonte. I lost Hall, Javonte, Chase, all on my best team, and I'm still set to destroy. I'm still gonna destroy him, bro. I got Walker, ETN, Pierce, St. Brown. Like, and it's a 12-man very competitive league. It's just there were steals. Pierce was a steal. Walker was a steal. ETN was a steal. In some cases, like, you know, when you draft a little bit earlier on. So, you know, it's all about that depth. And you did a good job because you still have JJ, you still have JT, you have Swift. So you did good. You didn't have any of the, you don't have Walker or the ETNs, but you did good overall. I don't think you do much with this team because.
I did trade for JT.
What'd you trade?
I feel like I gave a little too much, but I traded Fournette and Pittman.
No,
this is like week 4.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I don't know that I do anything here, man. Unless you're trading like Juju and Melvin for like a, you know, you just got rid of them, but like a Pittman type, because I actually do like Pittman a little bit. But Melvin and Juju for Gabe Davis, Melvin and Juju for, you know, something like that. Like I'm definitely not worrying about Melvin Gordon or Juju. Like Juju is a good sell high, in my opinion.
Okay.
Everett.
Yeah, so somebody did offer me DK and Melvin Gordon for Jamar Chase. He was thinking about it, but I was kind of skeptical about it.
Melvin Gordon and DK for Chase. I would take Jamar Chase. What's your record?
Okay. Right now I'm 3-4. I lost last week by like 7 points because of Damian Harris.
Yeah, I think I'd take Chase, but I mean, you're running a little bit of the risk of you know, losing that DK production and then. But I mean, you know, I don't think I trade JJ. I don't trade JT. I don't trade Swift. I don't need to. I don't feel like you need to divide and conquer those guys. I feel like, you know, it's a 12-man league.
It's a 10-man, half PPR.
10? Okay, so there probably are a couple teams that are a little bit better, but who's on the bench?
Right now, it's Zay Jones. And then I have. Let me look at a different league.
Zay's pretty decent, man.
Zay Jones, Damian Harris, Darnell Mooney. This is like a couple of my players.
Yeah, Mooney and Zay are pretty good wide receivers. I mean, for like if you make a 2-for-1 trade, like when you do that DK trade for Chase, and then you just throw Mooney in or you throw Zay in there. Zay's pretty utilized. I don't mind Zay. But
yeah, I like his production. I like his target.
Yeah, the only thing I'd look at is, so if you took JJ and you only entertained offers, didn't accept anything, you weren't planning on really trading him. If you entertained JJ for Adams and like an ETN or something, you know, or you know, something like that, Walker and AJ Brown for JJ, like that is something I would do.
Okay.
So
there was this one trade, but I don't know if it was good. But I was thinking about trading. I don't like the thought of it, but trading DeAndre Swift with Juju for AJ Brown and Najee Harris.
I don't like that one as much as another deal you could pull off. I think because Najee's not anything I want to. You're just gonna want to get rid of him, bro. You know, Najee's just somebody that like you like the idea of the name, and then when you get him, you're like, I just want to get rid of him. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah. You're live in the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
This is Aaron.
Aaron, what's up?
Aaron, how's it going? Smitty?
Yeah, this is him.
All right, so Smitty, I got a question for you. All right, so I made a trade. I traded away Saquon Barkley for Juju Smith and Dalvin Cook. You think I did all right?
Say it again.
I traded Saquon for Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Hopkins.
Saquon for Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Hopkins. You could argue that one only because I don't love Cook. I feel like Cook doesn't fit that system. He's on my panic chamber and sell high list this week. I'm not sure if you watched the panic chamber episode. So I like Hopkins, I like Cook, but I probably lean Saquon a little bit. But you didn't get blasted or anything. And if Saquon, if Cook comes out and balls out all year, you know, and I worry about the shoulder too, then you're gonna be fine.
Yep.
But if he, you know, struggles with shoulder, if they kind of phase him out, he's had good volume at times, but it's just a weird offense for him, and he's not as efficient.
Now I have CMC and ETN. You think I should try to maybe trade Cook for like an upgrade at like running back, maybe like another high-end RB1?
Who's your wide receiver?
I have Higgins, Hill, and Hopkins now. Full point PPR.
I could go either way, bro. I mean, I could trade Cook for an Adams who's had his bye week too. So you could get it.
Yep.
You know, yeah, I would trade him for Diggs and Adams. As far as a running back, I would trade Cook for Walker and something. That would be a smash. I'd trade him for ETN and something if you don't have those guys already.
I have ETN and Christian McCaffrey. That's my other two
that's
running
right.
backs.
That's right. So Walker, I would take Walker and a wide receiver. That would be an absolute smash.
All right. Sounds good. And how do you feel about Justin Fields? Do you think he has some potential as like maybe it's a 2 QB league that I'm in, so I'm thinking as like a QB2. I think he has some upside potential. I mean, this week doesn't look too good with Dallas, but the next couple weeks he has some favorable matchups. And then that week 17 against Detroit, I think he could be a real killer.
He's okay in a 2 QB league in that he can run and get points, but like he's not in a 1 QB league. He wouldn't even be a thought as a starter for me. But like a 2 QB league, we're talking about a whole different monster. You know, like Trevor Lawrence is good. Fields can be okay. You know, those are, you know, Malik's a great starter in a 2 QB format, whereas he's a borderline starter in a 1 QB where people have been decimated at quarterback and they have no ability to get a good quarterback in there. So make sure Malik.
So you think if I have the roster spot, should I try to pick up Malik?
Absolutely, in the 2 QB league. In a 2 QB league, of course. I've been talking about that for weeks.
Now, how do you feel? Like the worst person on my bench is probably James Robinson. You think that's?
I mean, that's your assessment. That's your assessment. Give me your bottom 4 guys.
My bottom 4.
I don't like James Robinson, but you can maybe trade him.
I picked up Tony as a like a flyer.
Mm-hmm.
I got Isaiah Pacheco, Rashad Bateman, which I can't drop right now because he just played, Miles Sanders, and Gabe Davis.
Yeah, Gabe Davis is great. Gabe Davis is a starter. Like I start Gabe. You have Gabe Davis. This is the team? All right, this team in front of me.
Higgins and Hill and Hopkins. Yeah.
Higgins,
I'm pretty loaded at wide receiver.
Higgins, Hill, Hopkins. Well, then maybe you do a 2-for-1, bro. And go get a top guy. Go get the top guy. You know, trade for, you know, you want to get Cup Jefferson. You want to get, you know, just go upgrade because you get Gabe Davis into your lineup.
So would you rather start Gabe Davis over like a DeAndre Hopkins?
Not necessarily, but I'm saying trade and upgrade so that you can get one of those guys upgraded into an Adams or a Diggs and then throw Gabe Davis in next to him. You know, do 2-for-1 or, you know, you got a lot of depth to use, and I hate to see Gabe Davis sitting on your bench when you could literally upgrade into a Hopkins or upgrade into from a mediocre running back to a JT type, you know, or into a Walker.
And how high are you on DeAndre Swift? You think Swift?
I mean, he's injured.
I know, like sometimes soft tissue injuries could be like an issue, but
6 to 10, wide range, top 6 to 10 running back, but it's wide. It's a wide range because of injuries. I like him a lot, but like we're all scared of him at the same time, and that's why you got to own Jamal.
I agree, Smitty.
All right, man.
All right, thank you. Man.
Appreciate you. Later, man.
Your help.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm going to close the phone line down for now, probably for the night. We've been live for 3 hours. I'm going to deuce out here in a second. So phone lines are closed. Let's get these super chats. I think I got to these, but Kane, I hope I didn't leave Kane hanging this long. Kane, moon shot to you.
To the moon.
I hope this hasn't been sitting here that long. Kane, where is it? I think I answered this one. Gabe Davis or Pittman? Gabe Davis. I like Pittman a lot. I think I did answer that. And then this one right here, Trevor Lawrence or Malik. I'm going Malik because of the London game. So I think I did answer those. This one right here, Malik or Dak. Dak's safer. I like Malik a lot. You could roll the dice. If you're a big-time dice roller, you could go Malik, but Dak's safer. Smitty, should I start my stud DK? I mean, yeah, it depends on who the alternative is, though, Lewis, but absolutely feel like you should be starting DK. Dak over, yep. Michael with the super chat. Michael, 2 different leagues, Russ or Willis, and Brissett or Willis. Give me Willis and Willis, baby. You could go Russ in the first league and Willis in the other if you want to lay off the risk a little bit, Michael. That wouldn't be the worst idea. But I'm going to go Willis and just roll the dice. But that's me. I'm crazy, bro. Don't do what I do. Play it safe. Or not. It's up to you. All right, I'm out of here. We've been live for 3 hours. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all in the morning. I'm live the entire 1 hour before kickoff of the morning games. I'm live the entire 1 hour. If you guys want me to, that's a half hour on Instagram. And then the second half hour of that final hour, I'm live on YouTube. But the question is, do you want me to answer your question? And in order to do so, you got to be on the YouTube exclusive membership. There's a $1.99 a month, a measly $1.99 a month gets you access to that bad boy. So just go ahead and see that link I just pinned in the live chat. Anybody that has the $1.99 or higher, the $9.99 is the only other option, and that gives you the 2 Zoom calls on Sunday. So on Sunday, halftime of the morning games, halftime of the Sunday evening game, we all jump on Zoom together and talk, and it's awesome. So if you want that plan, I will answer your questions in the morning as well, because both plans get you the green name, and I'm only answering green name questions over here in the live chat. Everybody can watch in the morning, but I'll answer only green name and super chats. If you want a super chat, I'll answer that too. Good luck to everybody in the morning. Smokey Cat with the final super chat of the night. Smokey says, need a defense drop 2. Madison, Gallup, A-Rob, or Khalil. I'm dropping Gallup and probably A-Rob. A-Rob could have an okay day, just so you know, but I feel like Madison is still the hold. Unless you need wide receivers, you could keep A-Rob and drop Madison, but I'm definitely dropping Gallup. Yeah. Trade Fournette and Walker for Pearson, Higgins, and Olave. Fournette and Walker for Pierce, Higgins, Olave. Can't you keep Walker and do this deal like a lesser deal? Jack, I don't like the idea of trading Walker. I don't mind where you're going with this, but I don't like it. Ayuk or Gabe Davis? Gabe Davis for me. But anything's possible. Debo is out. All right, guys. I'm live Monday through Friday. 7 p.m. Eastern every Monday through Friday. I'm live whenever news breaks. I'm also live on Tuesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night at midnight Eastern, and I'm live Sunday mornings, the last half hour leading into morning game kickoff. See you all tomorrow morning. Deuces. Don't forget, you want your question answered in the morning, that last half hour. Make sure you click that link that's pinned in the live chat. It's also in the description if you're watching the replay. And it's the YouTube exclusive membership. Go get some of that. Get that green name attached to your YouTube handle there. See you all later.
Smitty, you're not hearing me. I don't know a lot about fantasy football. I know everything about fantasy football. Woo! You know...